Hello there, good morning, and welcome to the best breakfast show on television. I am Emefa Akosia Adeti. We call it the AM show. Now, we're going to be bringing you the news as usual. We shall as well bring you some sports updates, and we shall review the news. A lot has been happening in the news, and joining us today to review everything that's happening in the news is Awal Mohammed. He is NPP Communications Directorate, is a member of it. And as well, Mohammed Bataglia, NPC Salah East and board member for TOR. And as well, Nelson Kujo Kwagbeji, head of trade in Melbourne Capital. We shall review everything in the news. And of course, in our big stories today, WAEC to hold an investigation as well into results of 34,563 candidates of the 2025 WASSCE due to examination malpractice. How do we cure this academic deficit that seems to be unending? We'll give you more details when we speak to the officials from WAEC. And so go on and join us in the conversation with your views and thoughts via phone and as well via social media handles. Of course, I love to read most of your comments on our social media pages. And when we get to open the phone lines, you have an opportunity to share your thoughts on everything that we may have reviewed or even on our big stories. So stay with us. It's going to be quite an exciting one again on a Tuesday morning such as this one. Denisia is up with the news.
Hello and welcome aboard. Good morning. My name is Denisia Pomaide. Welcome to AM News. Now we begin from the communication sector because a Minister for Communications, Samuel Nate George, has told the Public Accounts Committee that the National Information Technology Agency, NITA, will take full charge of the Ministry of Health's interim digitization measure for hospitals. Well, the Health Ministry has announced plans to roll out what it calls the Ghana Health Information Management System as an interim digital platform for hospitals, following the controversy with Lightwave Health Information Management System Limited. But speaking at the Public Accounts Committee on Monday, Samjol says he has shut down the request to engage a third party to roll out this new system.
As we speak, the country is aware of what's going on with the Ministry of Health and the LIMS contract. Mr. Chair, the Ministry of Health has reached out to us to provide some support for the stopgap measure they want to do. Now, we are being told that that contract, which is not being, or this service that we are going to render from the National Data Center to the Ministry of Health, must be signed with this private entity and payments made to the private entity. And so I have written officially to the Director General of NITA, instructing him to engage the Ministry of Health directly and not through the private entity, because the asset is the property of the Ghanaian people, paid for in full by the Ghanaian people with our taxes, and this is another government agency we are offering services to. If any payments will be made, it will be made to NITA directly. The terms of the contract must be that Smart Infraco should go and bring new contracts and new jobs and share revenue, and not that they sit back and then our government asset has been handed over to a private entity and they are commercializing it and taking all the revenue. This is what I inherited, and this is what we're trying to fix.
And still at the Public Accounts Committee, the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, has indicated that he's ready to amend the Ghana Education Tertiary Commission Act, Act 1023, to allow more time for tertiary universities to acquire a presidential charter. GTech in February 2024 gave a 6-month ultimatum to all universities, especially the private universities, to get chartered or risk shutdown. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee, the Education Minister first indicated that he's taking steps to amend the GTech Act to give the schools more time to do the needful. James Aveji has more.
GTech Act, every university which wants to operate under autonomy and issue its own certificate will have to acquire a presidential charter within 4 to 6 years of establishment and operation. In the absence of these, they are required to affiliate with universities with charter to issue certificates in the name of those universities. But as of last year, GTEC revealed that 77 universities failed to acquire the charter, hence the threat to shut them down. Responding to queries at the Public Account Committee in Parliament, the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, said he is taking steps to review the Act to extend the 4 to 6 years mandatory period.
Government is reviewing that position, and there may be a policy review of it to extend the moratorium, but certainly not to perpetuity. But we would give them some space of time. Chairman, noting that not every qualified Ghanaian student has the opportunity to be admitted into a public tertiary institution, they will be in denial if we were to be high-handed in terms of the regulation. But that's what the law requires him to do. So I may seek a review of the law in order that we extend the period of the charter and then learn from best practice. What happens in Australia, what happens in the US or UK? How are those private institutions able to cope with the public tertiary institutions?
He said the threat of shutdown, if carried out, would do Ghana's educational system more harm than good, raising he's exploring more options to deal with the matter without compromising on quality.
If we did that, apart from the students who will be affected, Ghanaians in the private sector who are investing in private tertiary education, that would be a disincentive to them. And they've done well. I mean, if you look at whether the church-related institutions, whether it's the Catholic Church or is the Pentecost Church or the Presbyterian Church, which is providing higher education, they've done pretty well in partnering government in providing that. So we will review the legislation, but not to perpetuity. It won't be forever and ever. Then you keep saying that, give me more time. It cannot be. But at least let's give them some time, because the challenge is, how many students are they able to admit? And they are fee paying. How many parents? It's the same Ghanaian parents who are paying because the ward or child could not get a public tertiary education. So standards will not be compromised, but I think that we should allow them time and space to justify their expenditure and the training they are providing. Thank you.
The Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, has also been speaking on the raging matter of the use of unearned academic titles by some individuals across the country. And he said, beyond what has come public, there are a number of such reports that are before the GTEC, which they are looking into.
The Director General of GTEC is acting in accordance with his mandate and the law, and recognizes that whoever is affected by it will be pronounced as he is doing. A number of it will refer to council, and they are looking at it. I'm awaiting a report from the GTEC council for a briefing. Then I'll come back to this house if you so desire.
Beyond the public criticism in some instances with regards to the use of this title, the GTEC is resolved to crack the whip on the matter, while Parliament is also waiting on the minister to bring in the GTEC Act for some level of amendment. From Parliament House here in Accra, I am James Savaji for JoyNews.
And away from Parliament, President John Mahama has revealed that he's pushing for a new regional security platform that will bring the AES states on board in the fight against violent extremism. Speaking at a joint press conference, President of Germany, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, who is in Ghana on a 3-day visit, pledged over 65 million euros in development cooperation to Ghana, subject to approval by the German parliament.
There was a resplendent display of Ghanaian culture on day 2 of the German president's state visit to Ghana, featuring a full military guard of honor, bilateral talks, a joint press conference, and a state luncheon at the Jubilee House. The president of Germany, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, announced that subject to the approval of the German parliament, Germany will support Ghana this year with more than 65 million euros in development cooperation.
And I'm happy to say that today we've also been able to bring good news, good tidings, that of course pending on the approval of the German Parliament, the Bundestag that is, Germany will again commit more than 65 million euro to Ghana in the framework of our development cooperation, which equals more than 823 million Ghana CD. The details will be negotiated before the end of this month.
Both presidents expressed concern about the growing threat of violent extremism in the Sahel region. President John Mahama revealed he is pushing for a new regional security platform that will bring the AES states on board in the fight against terrorism.
The Accra initiative was set up as a platform for our joint fight against violent extremism in the West African sub-region. Unfortunately, currently, the AES states are not participating in the Accra initiative. And so what I've been engaged with is seeking a new platform that can bring them on board, because the fight is not theirs alone. It's a sub-regional fight, because violent extremism is like a cancer. It continues to grow and spread. And so currently we have discussions. I was in Mali a week ago to discuss the issue of a joint platform where we can collaborate to help them, and the international community can assist in the joint fight against violent extremism.
President Frank-Walter Steinmeier said Germany, together with the European Union, is supporting Ghana's efforts to promote long-term stability and development in the Sahel. President Mahama also reiterated his call for Africa to have a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council, arguing that global governance cannot be fair or credible without Africa's full representation.
Regarding Africa's representation in global governance, Ghana continues its long-standing and legitimate demand for Africa's permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Africa, with 54 countries and over 1.4 billion people, remains the only inhabited continent in this world without a permanent representation on the world's most influential decision-making body. This historical injustice must be corrected.
He further urged nations to resist the lure of economic nationalism and instead work together to reform, not dismantle, the global institutions that unite the world.
Now, moving on to other stories. As climate change endangers food security, Ghanaian farmers are being urged to adopt climate-smart practices to protect their livelihoods and also improve crop yields. During a visit to Accra demonstration fields in Cape Coast and KEEA, Dr. Joseph Adomako of the CSIR Crop Research Institute encouraged the use of sustainable methods that adapt to shifting weather patterns. He said over 500 farmers have been trained under the ICRA project and called on the Agriculture Ministry and partners to expand climate education for stronger resilience and productivity.
Accelerating impacts of CGIAR Climate Research for Africa ICRA project is aimed at strengthening climate resilience and food security in Ghana. The project has facilitated 18 climate-smart agriculture farms across 10 communities in the Cape Coast Metropolis and KEEA municipality. Benjamin Amwa is the Agric Extension Agent in charge of the Mempasem operational area, one of ICRA's technology fields in the Cape Coast Metropolis.
Now the expectation is that normally they don't dry, farmers don't normally plant during the dry season. So now the farmers are happy that now they have drought-tolerant seeds that can withstand the dry spell or the dry season. Yes, and we usually get information too from the GMET, helping us to know the time for planting, harvesting, let's say application of chemicals or agrochemicals. But here everything is bio-pesticide free. We don't use anything like that. For now, there's no complaint. Everything we are doing here is perfect. And the farmers are attesting to it, and they can see themselves. This is a field trip that we are having, and they can see everything themselves, and they are very happy to adopt to these new innovations and technologies that we are deploying.
During a visit to some of these technology fields in Cape Coast and KEEA, Dr. Joseph Adomako a senior research scientist with the CSI Crop Research Institute, one of the partners in the ICRA project, urged farmers to adopt new farming innovations to align with the world's evolving climate.
So for this, I'll tell them that farmers should know that the world is changing. The issue of climate change has come to stay. And so first, they should be abreast with climate information. These days, GMET is doing very well. Almost every day, they're updating on how the weather condition, the climate is going to be. At the beginning of the year to the beginning of the season, they give the season forecast. So first, not only to the farmers, let me also advise the AES and the MOFA guys, MOFA Extension and the Department of Agri, that when they receive this information, they should be magnanimous enough to pass this information to our farmers.
The Cape Coast Metropolitan Director of Agriculture, Olympia Williams, also advised farmers to be receptive to change.
We are encouraging farmers that whatever we bring to their attention and we take them through, they learn, they shouldn't hesitate. We do these things not because we are just pushing their own way of doing things. No, we also look at what they have. Those that are very good, we marry them with ours, and then we are good to go.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for JoyNews.
From Cape Coast, let me bring you back here to Accra. Manufacturers of Tasty Tom Mix have revamped their operations with a renewed focus on quality and safety standards to restore confidence in public confidence in their products. Assistant Quality Assurance Manager Ernestina GT tells JoyNews the company is opening its doors to the public to witness firsthand the strict safety and hygiene protocols that guide the production of Tasty Tom products. There's more in the following report.
Assistant Quality Assurance Manager Tasty Tom Ernestina GT has announced that the company is inviting members of the public to visit its factory and observe firsthand the strict safety and manufacturing practices put in place to ensure the production of safe and high-quality Tasty Tom products. According to Ms. Ajete, the initiative forms part of Tasty Tom's broader commitment to openness and accountability following recent quality concerns that were swiftly resolved in collaboration with regulatory authorities. She said this in an interview.
Every Thursday, we are inviting you all to Tasty Tom to come and then verify, see things for yourself, see all the quality procedures, all the quality measures, all the inputs that we put in place to achieve safe and quality Tasty Tom products. When you come to the factory, you are going to see a whole lot of good things. First is our hand washing procedure, where you are supposed to wash your hands thoroughly with soap and
some consumers who visited the factory also shared the experience after witnessing the manufacturing process.
If you are a Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix enthusiast like I am, I think that you should make time, come around, have a feel, see for yourself what you have been consuming. And believe you me, you would rebuild that confidence and trust that you've had in the brand over the years.
It's now time for us to take some business news by who? Guess who? Dear Hunter Bailey, Samuel Kujibrace, right after this break.
Well, let's start the update with what's trending on the currency market. Now, away from that, the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISA, has praised improvement in Ghana's balance of payment position, improved in the 2024 compared with 2023. The significant improvement was driven by reduced external sector payment, lower capital outflows, and increased resource inflows from the International Monetary Fund's Economic Credit Facility Program. The following report captures more.
In its 2024 State of Ghana Economy Report, the capital and financial accounts saw lower net outflows, mainly due to decreased portfolio outflows and debt repayment. With respect to the current account position, merchandise exports rose, led by increased gold crude oil exports. At the same time, merchandise imports also grew, driven by non-oil imports and marginal increase in oil-related imports. The reserve account increased to 4 months of imports compared to the 3-month target. This was due to the Gold for Reserves program and higher current and financial accounts. For the trade sector performance, Ghana's trade balance was $4.9 billion in 2024, up from $2.6 billion in 2023. The value of merchandise exports increased by 21.4% from $16.6 billion in 2023 to $20.2 billion in 2024.
Now, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, PFAG, has expressed deep concern over the ongoing glut in the grain value chain, which is causing severe hardship for farmers nationwide. The association has made some demands of government after the Ministry of Food and Agriculture announced an additional 100 million cedis to National Food Buffer Stock Company to address the crisis. The following report has more.
According to the association, over 200,000 metric tons of unsold paddy rice and maize remain from the last farming season, and many rice farms are still unharvested. It pointed out that farmers now face threats from bird invasions, bushfires, and limited harvesting capacity, which would jeopardize all their investments if nothing drastic is done. Government has released 100 million cedis to address the issue. However, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is demanding an immediate publication of companies, locations, and quantities of grains procured with an initial 100 million cedis. In addition, it wants clear timelines for the commencement of grain purchases under the new 100 million cedis allocation, as well as a published list of all approved licensed buying companies, millers, and aggregators with their assigned locations for direct farmer engagement. The Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana says it expects that the measures should be quickly deployed and announced immediately to save farmers' investment.
Let's wrap up with what's happening on the commodities market. And that's all in business updates. Back to you, Poma.
Thank you, Samuel Kojo-Brace, for bringing us some business news. Well, that's it for AM News. But don't forget, if you want more news, I know a place. MyJoyOnline.com is your best bet. My name is Denisia Pomaide. Enjoy the rest of the show. But up next is sports.
Good morning. Time now to bring you sports here on the AM show with me, Muftao Nabila Abdullahi. Ghana Black Queens head coach Kim Lass is envisaging a difficult test against the Black Queens in their upcoming friendly match against the Lionesses on December 2. According to him, the decision of England to play Ghana shows that Ghana is actually one of the best countries in the continent. And according to him, the girls will need to rise to the occasion on December 2.
Big game, of course. I mean, but I do think the game is maybe more important for in the global while, because it's I will say maybe the most difficult team in the world to play against England. Okay, they are probably top 4 in the world, together with Spain, France, and the US right now. I would love to say Sweden, but we actually have dropped a little bit, so we're maybe number 5. But they are one of the best for sure, and they are a team that's just going to keep going. So it's going to be a difficult game for us, but the result in the friendly game against England away is maybe not the most important. I think the fact that they want to play against us. We are talking about the team that potentially can win the World Cup in Brazil. They are not there to just qualify to the tournament. They're going to go there to win it, okay? And they want to play us against us in their preparation for the World Cup. That says that, okay, Ghana, they are good.
Exactly. But in your own ways as well, will you fancy playing in some of these countries, this level, shoulders level countries, knowing that you need those kind of games to also beef up your squad?
I think so. Over long term, we need to challenge ourselves, even if it's going to be tough and sometimes very, very difficult, more defending than attack, of course, if you play against the best teams in the world. But sometimes you have to do it. It's to find a balance. Sometimes also you need to play against teams that they are better than, so you can practice in the way you want to play in the attack with build-up and everything that comes with that. But you need to have a mix, and right now I'm looking forward to the England game, even if I know it's going to be difficult.
The Elite Under-19 Championship that took place at the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence, Adam Magbana, who was a member of the committee that put together the competition, says that it was an amazing platform to unearth young talents. According to him, the Ghana Football Association should organize such competitions to discover many young talents in the country.
Amazing, amazing. You can see the feeling here. This is football, quality football, made here in Ghana, made here in Pram Pram. I think that generally it has been a very, very successful championship, very successful tournament. We have seen quality display of good football. We have seen discipline, we've seen teamwork, we've seen all the emotions at play and all the exciting things that have happened here today. I want to thank President of the GFA, Mr. Kurt Okreku, for putting together this tournament. Amazing tournament, amazing game we have seen, and you can see the joy here, the enthusiasm here. This tells me one thing: Ghana has got the potentials. All that the young boys and girls across the length and breadth of this country are waiting for is the opportunity to showcase their talent. And that is what the Elite U19 has done. Great football, great teamwork, beautiful display of emotion. I'm so excited, and I'm grateful to my team for making this a huge success.
Is this going to be a 9-day wonder?
No, definitely. I mean, we can see this beautiful thing and allow it to go. I'm sure all of you, including the presidents of the GFA and all the other stakeholders, will see the need to make this an annual event. We will make it sustainable. And we can promise you one thing: together with my committee members, next year will be bigger, bigger and better. Beautiful football. It will not end here. This is just the beginning.
Let's take it to England now and hear from Ghana International, Antoine Semenyo. He has had a great start to the new Premier League campaign, and he set a target of scoring at least 15 goals at the end of the season.
At the journal, every year I write my goals, like what I want to do. I want to always do better than what I've done in previous seasons. But yeah, I set a challenge for myself this year. I said I really want to push this year. I think I'm a good finisher. I can help the team in many ways, and compliment to the manager and all the players. Like they've been so helpful.
Yeah. Well, if you don't mind me asking, you might not want to give it away as it's a secret. What was in your journal this year in terms of goals and assists and what you wanted to achieve?
I don't want to say too much, but double figures goals, double figures assists was definitely up there. I think passing the ball at the right time, shooting at the right times is important and key for me. So yeah, I'll say those are the main ones.
What would you be happy with this season?
Oh, I mean, 15 goals would be great. I think I've it's only last year I've got double figures in the season goals-wise. So I think I like to think I'm a good finisher. So I want to give myself the opportunity this year and really kick on and show that I can finish. I can get in the right areas and be.
Is that something do you work on your finishing a lot?
Yeah, I work on my finishing a lot. Off season as well. Just before the season started, I worked.
What, individual coaches?
Yeah.
Have you got someone you work with?
Yeah, Sol, my football coach.
Right.
Yeah. I've been working with him all pre-season, just working on very difficult finishes from tight angles.
Right.
And
a little bit like the one against Fulham.
Yeah, I've been working on that a lot. Is
it lovely, that feeling when you're working on something and then it comes to fruition? It's beautiful.
100%. I think
straight you get a little text and that. You go, this is what we're working on.
Yeah, honestly, that chance was it's very hard to finish, but
it was lovely because we were you was here, weren't you? I remember that you got your hand up, the ball comes out to you, and then I think whoever the right back comes out, and then you just have a little bit of magic. You go past him. And I like the skill, as you was here, you managed to keep it, because that was like when you keep it with your left foot, don't you?
Yeah,
you should be telling me, not I should be telling you. What happened after that?
Got into the box and I seen everyone was marked in there, and it's like, in my mind, everything's going at 100 miles per hour, but I always look at the keeper. So whenever I have an opportunity, I always look at the keeper, look at his legs, and see if I can get through it. But when you play on that angle there, you know that you either put it in the top corner or you're putting it through his legs. So I seen his legs were wide open and he wasn't moving. He was just still static. So I was like, you know what? If I can get this with enough power through his legs, it'll go in the bottom corner. And it was just perfect. So.
Beautiful.
Let's talk some boxing. On December 20, British boxing promoter Eddie Hearn will be organizing a boxing bout in the country. His company known as the Match Room, they have a show and it's going to take place at the University of Ghana Stadium. The likes of Richard Aziz, they are going to, and Jaro Latte, they are going to headline the contest that will be happening at Legon Stadium on December 20. And we understand that they are expected in the country to have a conversation with the National Sports Authority just to finalize the key details ahead of this bout that will be happening on December 20. So Richard Aziz and Jaro Latte are the two boxers who will be headlining this, with the likes of Laye Dogbeto and Abdallah Eradajaye. They are going to be the undercards in this fight. So it is happening on December 20. Details of this story is available on myjoyonline.com. The UEFA Champions League now, and we hear from Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta, as well as that of Liverpool manager Arne Slot and Xabi Alonso.
He's definitely not available. He hasn't trained today, and we need to do some more tests and scans in the next few days to understand the extent of the injury, but this game is not available.
This game with Slavia Prague is the third midweek game you have in these last 3 weeks. How do you balance wanting to possibly rotate the squad with a hard away game in the Champions League, but also dealing with the injuries you have as well?
Yeah, that's a situation that we've been dealing now for a few weeks, and trying to have the right freshness, the right cohesion within the team. The team has been competing really well in all different competitions, and tomorrow we know that we have a really tough match here. They are unbeaten here at home all season. Is a team that they are very used to playing together. They have a very clear philosophy. They create a massive atmosphere as well, so we know there's going to be a really tough match.
Victor, are you concerned about it, or is it a short-term issue for him?
No, I am concerned because he hasn't had many muscular issues, and he had to leave the pitch, and he was feeling something, and that's obviously never a good sign, especially for a player that it's very, very explosive. So we are digging in a little bit more to understand where we are in terms of the injury, and we'll announce the moment we know more.
No, I can only tell you what kind of reception he gets from me. I have great memories on the player and on the human being. He was our vice captain. He was my vice captain last season. I have memories working with him who were only positive. And I have memories when I was watching him in front of the television, which are only positive as well. I can remember multiple great moments of him wearing the Liverpool shirt. So he will get a warm welcome by me. And let's first wait and see if he's on the pitch tomorrow and how our fans will react. I have no clue how that's going to be. But he gets a warm welcome from me, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Every game we play is a test, especially because we are a new team. It's not the same because last season we played them both at home and now one of them is away. It's not the same because last season we faced Real Madrid, who had many injuries, and now they haven't. It's not the same because last season we were a different team than we are now. We're with them. When now all the injuries are back, they have the same squad and added a few. And City made a few changes like us as well. So, but every game we play at this moment of time, oh, by the way, every single time is always a test to see where we are.
It's a Classico of European football. Liverpool, because of their history, because they're in the Champions League, it's one of those games that the fans really look forward to seeing. And Trent and myself have our history here at Liverpool, and it's always great to come to a place where they've loved you so much. We're coming to do our thing tomorrow, which is to play well and to come away with a good result. Getting into his flow now, or is he missing something? No, he's good. He didn't play because of the context of the game, but he's available to play any number of minutes. Tomorrow he may play. And then after the injury he had, you know, we need it. We need his qualities. He has great qualities. He's in a new stage for him, both sporting and physically and mentally. We need to give him what he needs because he's an exceptional player that we have in our squad.
We take a look at the fixtures of matches that will be happening later tonight in the UEFA Champions League. And note that the kickoff times of the Champions League have changed. It's now moved to 8 o'clock because of the change in the Greenwich Meridian time. And we'll have a fixture between Napoli and Eintracht Frankfurt. That one is going to also be kicking off at 5:45 p.m. And also there's Slavia Praga versus Arsenal, Atletico Madrid versus St. Gilles. Liverpool come up against Real Madrid, and we'll have commentary of that game on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll have Tottenham Hotspur come up against Copenhagen. Olympiacos will play PSV. Juventus will play Sporting. PSG will come up against Bayern. And Bodo Glimt will come up against Monaco. So these are the fixtures in the UEFA Champions League tonight. And as I mentioned, these matches, some of these matches will be kicking off at 8 p.m. We'll have commentary of the game between Liverpool and Real Madrid on His 103.9 FM. And this is how we wrap up sports here on the AM show. The newspaper review comes your way up next.
All right, good morning again and welcome to the AM show. Wherever you are, thanks for making us a part of your morning. Time for us to go into what the papers are reporting this morning. But even before we do that, there's one of our bosses here whose daughter is celebrating the birthday today. So glorious birthday to Jada Aseda Kumia Ousu Odame of Mary Mother of Good Counsel School. May God exceptionally honor, favor, and bless you on this day and beyond. May you brilliantly stand out amongst your peers with such confidence, composure, and unmatched intelligence in Jesus' name. Hashtag we love you dearly. Hashtag outshine. And that's coming from your daddy, Sami Odame, the producer of the Joy SMS. So to you, Jada Aseda Kumia Ousu Odame, happy birthday to you. Grow to outshine your peers. Well, so in studio to help us do this, we have Nelson Kojo Kuagbeji. He is the head of trading, Melbourne Capital, and also our own member of parliament we so much adore. Mohammed Battaglia is here. Is Battaglia, right? Battaglia, exactly. He's MP for Sisala East. They're good the good people of Sisala East love him so much because he's a down-to-earth man, they say, and he's also a board member of the Tema Oil Refinery. He says that he's going to turn around the Tema together with his other board members and the CEO of TOR, right? That's going to happen. So next year we'll come back for
even before next year.
All right, but you know, our beautiful MFA Akosia Adeti. Oh my goodness, Ahofeni is on the smart world. Hi, how are you? Oh,
thank you for asking. I did miss you too. Oh. Yesterday was all sad because you're not here. Oh. So don't do that again. Show up all the time, okay? And it's good to see our guests this morning for the news review. Of course, Nelson and Honorable. Let's bring you quickly what's happening in front of the newspapers. And this morning I'm starting with the Insight newspaper. Brian Champon vows to adopt Volta Region NPP. Pledges new future of hope, unity, and growth. The last time the NPP didn't quite survive in the Volta region, even after the former energy minister made some strides in the Volta region. We'll see how that will work. But as well, State Housing Company offers debtors juicy 15% discount on fees owed in new revenue mobilization campaign. That's quite interesting that you owe the state, but they are also giving you some cuts just to be able to offset your bills. That's quite a good one. I think if you owe, you should be able to take advantage of this. But for the mathematicians and those who understand financing, maybe because you won't get on the table, you should ask Nelson what this means, that a person owes the state is as well giving them a cut, at least to give them some incentive to want to pay. I step in the right direction. I will go to the next newspaper. Daily Guide this morning is reporting how SML rebuts OSP's claims. This has been buzzing since Friday, all through to yesterday. And SML is not sitting still. It is as well responding to the OSP's claims. By now, we know that the OSP is looking to recoup about 125 million Ghana cedis as recoveries as part of their mandate, really, and says that SML, well, when I spoke to Manasseh yesterday, SML, he believes the service they provided for us as a country generally was not even required or needed. Something, Kojo, you should be interested in when you're looking into it. But SML is only asking and calling for evidence-based verification. And AG frees Wontumi co-accused. I think he is the fourth accused person who earlier pleaded guilty to 3 charges, but now the AG is set to free him. If today the case is called in court, then he would be freed of most of the charges because he has accepted to at least testify during the process. And so that's another story to look out for. What does this mean for Wontumi himself, and what does this mean to the fight against illegal mining? And what does it also look for mean for the AG losing that approach for co-accused persons coming to the fore, wanting to provide further information so that they are freed? Justice system, the processes, the nuances, value chain. You ought to look at that.
It was a gentleman in Yafa mining. So.
Yes. Okay, and then GRA head of legal arrested. Of course, you know that it is also in connection with the SML. We can go to the new MP invited over NAIMOS task force assault. And I know that it is because of the Hwidiem disturbances or riots where you may have seen trickles of stories, his version. So it is between STV North and STV South. And both MPs are trying to put some clarity. We also know that the Inspector General of Police has since, it is just right here, Hwidiem disturbances. The Ghanaian Times goes on to give us some details on that particular story about the MP being invited. But the IGP directs CID to take over investigation. The story is on page 13 of the Ghanaian Times. And big one, Germany pledges 650 million euro support to Ghana. Quite a big one. And 65 million. I told you that I've got some 65
numbers phobia.
I have numbers phobia. But I'm glad that you were able to see 65 million supports to Ghana. Story is on page 3. I think the president is on about some 3 days visit to the country. You want to take a look at that if you're interested. But GJ considering legal action at ECOWAS Human Rights Court over Ahmed Swale's case. Of course, after the Attorney General now proceeded on a nolle prosequi, they're asking the question what the police is actually doing to find the real culprit in the fight to find who may have murdered or killed Ahmed Swale. Of course, government engages ESPA to clear outstanding arrears. Local government minister, page 14 of the Ghanaian Times, if you're interested. But let's go to the other. So the Ghanaian Times, behind it, State Housing Company targets 200 million Ghana cedis debt recovery. The managing director has been updating, of course, and says that, and this is also on the backdrop of the earlier story, that they are happy to offer 15% cut on those who owe this particular state housing story. It's behind the Ghanaian Times. You can go take a read. And Education Minister inaugurates 160-bed girls' dormitory for Bimbila SHS. I'm excited about this one. It's behind the Ghanaian Times. You can go to the other newspapers. Okay, Daily Times this morning. So, TCDA strengthens stakeholder collaboration to boost cashew industry. If you're a lover of cashew, monetizing it and as well put it on your plate is a good one. You want to take a read. It's on page 2 of the Daily Times as well this morning. Honorable Ernest Yao Enim sets the record straight, dismisses false reports on parliamentary attendance. He's been explaining, you know, the Speaker of Parliament has been quite wild on some members of Parliament who have been absent for a while. We're lucky to have a member of Parliament here. And maybe, Kojo, you should be asking him what he does, that his name was not on that list of absenteeism. Maybe he can provide some explanations or help some people not to be absent. Let's go on to the next paper. The Overseer says, a Sutifi North MP denies inciting mob attack on NAIMOS task force. And what is interesting here in that, when that report came from NAIMOS, there was a person who was named in that the Zongo chief was helping to calm the situation. He has as well come to confirm that he can confirm and put his title on the line that this MP was just on his way to a funeral and just was helping calm the situation. But what we know now is that the situation or this matter is being investigated. Story is on page 3. If you want to understand it clearly, beginning to the end of it, I told you earlier, CTV North, CTV South, Collins Dauda, and this man as well, Honorable Ebenezer Kweku Ado, MP for CTV North, in the middle of this. But another story that has my attention, Kujo, we need concrete action against breast cancer, not just slogans. Nanoye Lita is speaking about that. I don't think she's called Lita, but I just know that Nanoye, at least we'll stick to that. Bampo. Perfect, yes. Okay, we'll just wrap with my Joy Online. Minister deliberately put misinformation bill draft out to invite public feedback yesterday on PM Express. Honorable Bandem, who is the chairman for communications committee in Parliament, has been explaining that it was a deliberate attempt to at least gather some feedback in terms of consultation, because members of the New Media Africa were as well complaining that they were not consulted during this draft bill and said that it will put some punitive measures on online and content creators. But he says that the whole idea was to at least solicit some feedback and at least help make the draft better. So there you go. NSMQ, we're looking forward to the final day on Thursday. But if you want to know everything that has been happening so far, just go on our portal and then you will read as WASSCE dominates semi-finals to book grand finale spot against Infanta Pim and St. Augustine's. Very, very, very happy. St. Augustine's and then Infanta Pim, these two people. I hope that WASSCE will just take these two I hope that they just get out. I just hope.
Oh, so this is almost like an all Cape Coast affair.
Yes.
It's Cape Coast versus Kumasi.
Kumasi. Two giants against OWASSCE, and it is the reason why I just think OWASSCE should just take them out for some reason.
Hold on, La. Take your time.
Azinta.
You keep going. You can fantastic there. You
go for your two no do one way. But that is how we'll wrap the headlines this morning. Because over to you. You can go on and review.
Oh, what a way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Eva.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Okay, so that's by way of the review for you here. Let's see how that goes. Well, the AM show is sponsored by Kenoga Company Limited and also by the Syntex tanks. Let's come into the studio. And start talking. But Ghana, let's talk about water tanks. Do you know the real secret to real water storage? It's simple. If your tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, then it's not the correct tank. That's right, the tortoise tank. Syntex tank is the champion of water tanks. It is strong and durable, as well as built to handle our Ghanaian weather. Rain or shine, Syntex tank has your back. So go outside, check your tank, and if it doesn't have a tortoise on it, it's time to upgrade. Join the Syntex tank family today and enjoy a water storage that's tough like a tortoise. Call 0244-335-168, 0244-335-168 to buy now or find one of our 400 agent nationwide. You can also shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, strong, tough. Well, let's come into the studio, and as I introduced my guest earlier, Mohamed Battaglia is MP for Sisala East. He is here already. One of his, two of his MPs, colleague MPs are in hot waters. So we're talking about that. Mohamed is the MPP, Awal Mohamed is the MPP communication, is a member of the MPP's communications team. And then also Nelson Kujo Kwagbeji. I hope I got it right.
Nelson Kwagbeji, head of finance, not trading.
Head of finance for Melbourne Capital.
Yes.
You deal with the numbers. Okay. Then I'll start the SML with you.
Yes, SML.
But even before we get there, a minute each for you to give us your reflection, something you want us to talk about even before we get into the papers. If you don't have any, I'll just move on to.
Well, as an industry player, we are looking forward to the 2026 budget that will soon be presented by the government. And if you, around the world, this is the time, October, November, that government presents a budget for the ensuing, financial and fiscal year. So our expectation as industry players is that the capital market to be more deepened because there has been some level of illiquidity within the market. And we have also seen that we have enjoyed some relative level of stability in terms of the macro indicators. We believe that this is the time to grow because it is only growth that can create the sustainable jobs that we are yearning for. And so our expectation is that the 2026 budget will be anchored on growth to create jobs for the teeming youth of this country, jobs that are decent, jobs that are quality, and jobs that are sustainable.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Well, Kojo, I will start by saying a very good morning to you, my brothers here, and your good team. And also to say good morning to the very good people of Sisala East. It's for them I'm here. Mine is just two issues. One quite sad, the other one to good news. The first one is about the demise of our first regional chairman of Upper West for NDC. Laji Malik Ishaq. He's late. I think he passed on Sunday. He's buried based on Islamic principles. And I extend the condolences of my people and myself to the family, the region, and the entire country. He's a good man. He was a good man, let me say, somebody who cared for many. And we pray that God Almighty, Allah, should grant him Jannatul Firdaus. The other good news, the good news I have is that, last week I did mention that before I left the constituency, I happened to receive the first batch of contractors that came on the eastern part of my constituency to deal with the Tumu-Bolga Road. Fortunately, and tomorrow the president will be in Upper West, with all this being equal, to cut the sword for the big push, construction of the road from Wahend to Mu to Bolga Road. That's good news for us. I said we are locked up there facing economic challenges because our road infrastructure is so bad that we have been left out as a people in this country. But we think that when these roads are done, the economic potential of that place will be harnessed and our people will get something to do. We have very good potential. I keep telling you that all that we need is good infrastructure to make sure that the youth will be able to put their skills into bear so that we can create some kind of livelihood for ourselves. This is very good news for everybody, and we are so anticipating that the president should do this. We also do agree strongly that, as I appeal, that the president has been very focused on this, determined, and timelines have been given, and we believe that the president will once again emphasize the need for the contractors to live up to the task. And thankfully, we are told too that the minister assured us that payments will be made readily available for contractors who have done good work. And I'm sure that this, once again, will be good news to our people. Thank you so much.
All right, grateful to you. Awal.
Thank you so much. Good morning to our cherished viewers and good morning to my seniors here. And I also have two issues. One is that Dr. Bawumia was in your constituency yesterday. Was in Elembele, Valojra, and Joboro. That's your area, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so
mine is at Hunter West. He was there on Sunday.
Oh, okay, okay. But it's in the western
Yeah,
region.
exactly.
Yes, yes. But today he's back to Takrady. So he'll do Takrady, Efia, Kwesimintim, and Poho.
Okay.
So he is gradually coming back to Takrady. Yeah. He started from the hinterlands around Takwa.
Okay.
He went to your area and he's here now. He's still campaigning on the 10 appointments per constituency and other things that he feels that will be able to do to help the party win the elections in 2020. The second issue is a video that we have all seen that I think the media is not interested in. The Deputy Director of Operations at the Office of the President, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, is saying that every month the President doles out 20,000 cedis to each constituency every month. And he has been doing this in the last 10 months. If you put everything together, a month, the President spent in excess of 5 million Ghana cedis. And he told the gathering of NDC people, the video is there, but I'm surprised that the media is not really giving premium to it, because 5 million cedis from the president to be given to every constituency, 20,000 in every constituency, it is too much. So I think the media should be interested in that. Let's see where the president really get that money from. If it's from his pocket, that's fine. But if really it is from the taxpayers' money, the monies that is used for the government machinery, I think we'll have to really probe into it and let's understand where the monies are coming from. Because this is not a mean person. This is someone who is at the presidency as Director of Operations, and you have him as also a Deputy General Secretary of the party, addressing party people and telling them that this is what the president is doing every month to make sure that at least the party people get some respite. So I think it's very important that we'll have to really probe into it, especially JoyNews. I know, as for you, if you decide to follow up on this, then you will be able to really do a good job on that.
All right, I hear.
So I saw some mathematics on his page. He did some mathematics about the quantum of money already doling out to the NDC people. I laughed. I said, like, it's not always like that. Maybe, like he said.
So it's not true?
No, that's not true.
Your constituency has not been receiving 20,000?
20,000 per month. What are you talking about?
So you're saying that
No, that I can challenge. That I can challenge.
That they are not giving 20,000 to constituency secretaries every month?
No.
To take care of the party?
I have my secretary there. I can put him online. No.
But of course, he probably can deny because they would bring about...
From the presidency, every month, 20,000. No. Papa, this is... At least we should have been getting close to what? Close to 200,000 now. I don't think.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Interesting. Anyway, let's see. Maybe it's something that Accountant, I don't know if that's an issue. Accountant doesn't want to go into it.
I was thinking you said you
well,
start the SML with him.
He said, Awal said it was a comment that the Deputy Director of Operation made.
Yeah.
And the video is there for everybody to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I like working with facts and figures. Once the video is out there for everybody to see, I'm sure it will come up. It will come up. But then 20,000 every month. He just confirmed that.
Yes. Me, I asked my constituency, do you receive this amount of money? And I'm just struggling. No.
So
no,
I'm
maybe
sure
they have
it is
not
something that, I mean, you guys can pick up and then we'll get to the bottom.
It's a quick type of conversation sometimes, you know.
Oh, really? Talk to delegates.
I mean, you know, sometimes if you are under pressure, you see something.
No, it was not under pressure. He was telling them, he was cataloging what they had done. He said every constituency, at least 8 people have had an appointment. That's what he said.
That's even where the problem is. You see, you know, sometimes when you are under pressure, people are looking for jobs, and you try to calm them down, and you go to that extent. And I think that he has let that. I don't think that's true. That's true. That's one I can see.
You don't think?
No, but I don't have to be 100% certain. But the point is that I'm saying that I have asked my secretary and the Quincy Chamber, are you receiving every month 20,000? I said no. Maybe it's yet to come.
But there's a tendency of someone receiving and hot and
no, but not consistency executives. They are about three people in charge of their finances. We have the treasurer.
He mentioned it is sent to the secretary.
No, that's what I said. In terms of signatories to the account, we have the treasurer, the secretary, and the chairman. The 3 of them. So where will you go? I've asked the secretary. So every month, 20,000 Ghana cedi. No.
So your deputy general secretary lied.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. This sentence even that he wouldn't be saying out there. You know that. Well, he said that.
No, but he said it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he was addressing party people. And he even told them, he decided to enumerate what they had gained in the last 8 months. Yeah. That in your constituency, for instance, 8 out of the constituency executives have one appointment or the other, YEA, NADMO, health insurance.
It's just like at the heat of event, Bright Champon would tell people that each candidate that time was giving 100,000 every month. He said those people say those things. People say those things. People say those things.
So it means Mustafa Gwandi light.
No, many people would say things that are not appropriate. Or that is not.
But if it's not true, then he lied. So just.
I know. You see, we are on national television and we are in the same family.
Or it is not factual.
You see, let me use that. It might not be exactly factual. Let me say.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
All right then. Okay. Let's start with the Daily Guide newspaper and go into the SML issue. Now, Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited (SML) has refuted claims by the office. Let me introduce my other guest. Pardon me, I forgot to introduce Doc. Doc is a mining engineering consultant based in the United States of America who's done a lot of extensive work in the mining space in the US and also in Ghana. He's been quite vocal when it comes to issues with Galamsey. He believes that we have what it takes to deal with Galamsey. And today we have him on the show, Dr. Solomon Owusu, a mining engineering consultant. Doc, good morning to you and welcome. But I don't know, maybe you also have an issue you want to talk about before we go into the papers. If not, let me just go into the papers straight away.
Yes.
Maybe I take you by surprise.
Well, there was a publication yesterday on Heat Gold, Bogoso Pristia, in our western region, about this new gold mine that Kwabnado 4 is the owner, allegedly the owner. And
of Heath Gold?
Yeah, Heath Gold, Pristia Bogoso. And, they are facing similar challenges as the predecessor, the Future Global Resources, which is the FGR, the Blue Gold. These guys came in with the hope that they will pay the workers, build up the mine, put up strong management to deal with the issues. Unfortunately, it's the same thing. But the matter with Blue Gold is at the International Court of Arbitration right now. So I will say the government, and I commend the minister for shutting them down right now. They have shut them down right now. And they are building, Heat Gold right now. yeah, the Chief Inspector of Mines have set up a committee that they are working on it right now. So they should try and deal with the matter such that the taxpayer will not pay some huge amount to Blue Gold. The matter is in...
The workers there were praising Heath for what they've done in the past, the few days, the few months that they've been in charge.
And the same workers have risen against them.
Okay.
And because of that, the Chief Inspector of Mines
closed it down.
Yeah, closed it down. So yeah, they should deal with this such that we don't pay huge sums of money to Hit Gold.
It affects the economy of PCI, and I hope they can resolve it quickly so that the company can resume operations.
Yeah, from what I heard, the Hit Gold doesn't have that money that they promised, but the Blue Gold, I heard, they now have some money. They mobilized some money.
They had some money from the U.S. stock exchange.
Yes, NASDAQ. They have some money that they want to put it in and revive the mine. But let's leave it with the minister and then the executives to deal with it and come up with a judgment that will favor everybody.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Now, SML, according to the company, it will present all relevant documents before the appropriate authorities, stressing its operations have been undertaken in line with the rule of law and within the limits of contract. Now, despite the contract termination directive, SML Ghana reaffirmed its full cooperation with all lawful review processes and urged that the national dialogue be guided by verified fact, context, and due process. Let me start with you, the man from the finance world. What do you make of this? I'm sure you've read about it,
yes,
trying to understand.
I actually read the entire document. The first question that I asked myself is as to whether the whole SML deal was necessary. Was it necessary? Was there any cost and benefit analysis done as to what the state stands to gain from this revenue and cost assurance? It will interest you to know that GRA has so many departments, and one of the departments has to do with revenue assurance across all sectors. And so when you take the petroleum sector, the upstream, the midstream, and the downstream, they conduct due diligence to ascertain the revenue that they are getting from the petroleum sector. Is this something that is less or more? So that is the first question that you ask yourself. Was it really necessary? And then the next thing that you want to know is that the relationship between the various stakeholders within the whole scheme. You realize that when you read the entire document, GRA was deeply involved in the whole scandal. The Ministry of Finance at the time was also deeply involved in the whole scandal. And then the directors and management of SML. Now, the quantum of money that was paid to SML for the work that they have done could have been used, to solve other problems that we are facing within the country. And so for me, that whole scheme that was designed by the previous finance minister was completely unnecessary. Let's put that on point.
But let me ask. Now, when you speak to SML, they show you data that before SML, there was a disparity between the liftings at MPA and the taxes that were supposed to have paid on those liftings. It is when they came in that they've been able to then measure the liftings at MPA and also align it with taxes, such that if there is a gap, then they find whoever is supposed to. So why are we saying it was not necessary?
Well, that was why I was saying that the expertise that SML was bringing on board, couldn't we get same expertise from, any department in GRA?
But if they were there, why were we having losses?
Good. So which means that there was some personal interest in the whole transaction.
On the part of who?
Well, on the part of the various stakeholders within the scheme.
Because my question is that if there was,
because you cannot tell me that
if there was a human resource expertise at GRA, which was to ensure that we were not losing revenue, and we were, SML comes in to correct it allegedly. What they say.
Well, revenue assurance and cost assurance in itself is not a bad thing. Even commercial entities, companies who are into production, who are into their volume of production is so high, they engage in all those kind of, just to make sure that the revenue they are getting from their operation is actually what they need to get. What I'm trying to say is that, yes, it is not a bad idea, but the way the whole scheme was set up, it was as if it was some, it was the intended objective was not really to give assurance to GRA regarding revenue collection, but rather in one way or the other to make, generate a profit from the whole transaction. What I am saying is that, number one, the whole transaction, in my opinion, was completely unnecessary. We could have used the department, any department, the department concerned under GRA for this kind of revenue and cost assurance. Now, the problem is this. KPMG, I think, was asked by the then president to conduct some due diligence into the operations of SML. And I think the report, I haven't read the entire report, but I think the report actually raised some few issues regarding the entire, scheme. And to the extent that KPMG did the review and came out with certain findings which are adverse to the whole scheme, I think, in my opinion, the scheme was completely unnecessary. I mean, in your quest to give assurance to yourself that, yes, the revenue I'm generating from the petroleum sector is enough, we must not spend so much on that contract. Now, one of the challenges that we face in this country has to do with inadequate domestic revenue mobilization. And once you are not able to raise revenue domestically, you will certainly have a deficit. How will you finance the deficit? You have to go and borrow. And once you borrow, it means that you are increasing your debt stock. And so that is why I said from the beginning that, yes, it was a good idea, but at the time that it was implemented, GRA could have handled that and make sure that whatever revenue that they were paying to SML would have been retained to support, the fiscal operations of the government. And in my opinion, I think it was a scheme that was designed for personal interest. It was not in the interest of the state. It was not in the interest of the economy, as it was indicated in the KPMG report. And so going forward, I think what we need to do is to make sure that all those who were involved in the scheme, all those who were involved, Ghana issues will come up, we'll discuss it on radio, on television, but at the end of the day, it will just be swept under the carpet. But I think that to the extent that the president has gone ahead to actually terminate the contract, anybody who is found culpable should be dealt with according to the laws of this country.
All right. Honorable Batagla, let me come to you.
Well, thank you, Kojo. Kojo, this issue, I think my brother Nelson touched on the fundamentals. And basically, we also have to look at it within the context. SML, Metamorphosis from Smell, that was established in 2017. That was in February. The idea was to play a role in trying to make sure that they bring about assurances in our revenue. But with that, the big question is that to play that role, you need certain skills, expertise, and what capacity. It was obvious, based on the correspondences and even the reports that we have, that on a number of occasions, the PPA rejected Smell because they do not have the capacity. Clearly, it was in November, the same year, that it now changed from the strategic mobilizing enhancing limited to what? Strategic mobilization what? Ghana Limited. That's the SML. With the same people, the name only changed. With the same group of people, the name only changed. And what Nelson tried putting out is that they want to hide under the umbrella of some other organization that have that capacity. For instance, there's a company called the Cortetna, or the company that they wanted to hide under their capacity to do the work. But they were clearly taken out. I think the corporate veil was unveiled for them to see that no, they are a skeleton without the capacity and expertise to do that kind of particular work, that work. Eventually, I think that they hide under the what? The cloth of what? Blue water. Making it look as if they subcontracted it. They got a subcontract from Blue Water. But all was this a scheme to get off Blue Water to take the duty, the contract. Clearly, moving forward, they got the contract being extended. Even worse of it, if you read the report of the OSP, that's about 54-page report, indicated that KPMG talked about the issues about capacity. PPA indicated that even the OSP indicated clearly the operations that they are doing, they have not gotten that capacity. They only took over, they hide under a particular company trying to get the benefits of it without having the actual capacity. And I think at the end, everybody commended the Fourth Estate, where Manasa Azure and the two others who took the issue up. And they felt that that was a good thing to do. And even clearly, Manasa Azure said that if we are talking about revenue increases in that scheme of affairs, those increases did not come because SML came into they came because of widening the tax network and also making sure that the increases what the rates of what taxes that we pay here. That was just the basis. So it was like you put some system there that in the first place was not even necessary to milk this country. And that's what we're talking about.
But when I hear the argument about it was not necessary, then I come back to my question. How were we losing all of those revenues they claim to have saved the country? Or what they said was untruth, that they saved Ghana so much millions of dollars.
Exactly the point, because they create some false issues to be able to fit in. It's just like it's financial engineering. He's a financial person. Financial engineer, you can look into a system and say that there's a lacuna here. Let me take advantage of it. But in actual sense, did your work or your intervention brought about increases in our money, in our revenue? The real effect now we are getting to know that is no. You ended up benefiting more than the state. That's what it is. That's the point. Because it's like people are smart. We know smart economists are there. We have smart people. They look at gaps. And you know, you and me will tell, sometimes even in terms of, he is a finance person, they will tell you that evasion of tax is what? It's a crime. But avoidance of tax is not a crime. But you might be doing the same thing in a different form. So people are, the promoters of that particular, even called as official promoters of that, of SML, of SML, saw a lacuna and felt that they could milk the country through this process. And that's what they did. Bringing a company that was a timber merchant, established by a timber merchant, to do issues about finance. That was what happened. That's what happened. And clearly, we've been shortchanged as a country.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
This was under your government.
Yes, please.
If the people did not have the capacity, why ask them to do a job that they didn't have capacity for?
Okay, Brace, I'm surprised that the two speakers are saying that they do not have the capacity and they are doing something, and even Nelson was saying
they are
that it's not really.
Well, I think, just walk up quick one. I think even KPMG raised the issue.
Okay, so
in terms of capacity.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be attributed to.
Okay, so I'll read from the KPMG reports so that at least we can just. So when the issue broke up, let me just say that indeed. Let me commend Manasseh and his group for the yeoman's job, for them to take the pain of going through all these things. Because when it came up, the first time they broke the story, the president heard about it, and the president on the 23rd of December called for the suspension of the contract and procured KPMG, that international accounting firm, to do an audit of the two contracts. You know, it's two. One is the downstream and the other, the upstream, that they have not really started. But the downstream, they had done it for 4 years. So the president asked them to really halt the system. Let's do the auditing of the two contracts so that at least we'll know what is in. And again, when the KPMG report came out, there is nowhere in the KPMG report that says that we should abrogate the contract. It is not in it at all that we should abrogate the contract. With even the upstream that they had not even started, they said there should be a parliamentary approval. And that is, so if you have not even read the KPMG report, when you go to the story or the report that the OSP has really put out, in the report, where he quoted what KPMG said, he, when you check on page 4, this paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he said, in respect of measurement of audit for downstream petroleum,
there was reported incremental volume that is attributed to the involvement of SML. This is what they said. That is the question you've been asking them. So is it true that indeed their involvement, Ghana was able to rake in some of the monies that we used not to get? KPMG gave that report that indeed their involvement, Ghana really got 1.7 billion to 2.4 billion within that range. Again, in terms of this downstream, KPMG did not say that they did not have the capacity to do it. When you check the last but one paragraph of the KPMG report, is that in respect of the okay, so I'm looking at where the KPMG said that they should, okay, consideration should be given to incorporating periodic monitoring and evaluation of the last 2 years. No, I think yes, I'm coming. In respect of the transaction and external verification, there is service. I am trying to tell you that there is a portion in the KPMG report that says that because of the 4 years that they have been able to work with their expertise and everything, the contract should really not be abrogated, but continued. But it is the aspect of the amount of money that they are supposed to get that they should be able to really renegotiate it. And that was what KPMG report said. So when you check, there are links to almost all the former finance minister, the other people. They are saying that it's a scheme and so on. There is nowhere that says that any of them were directors of SML. They are not directors of SML. The directors are there. The directors didn't change from day one. Changing of name has no bearing with approval. As Honorable wanted us to believe that they went with the name, and it was after they changed the name that they did that. According to SML, they only did it for branding purposes. And again, you and I know that at PPA, changing of your name with the same directors and so on has no bearing on approval of anything. Yes, there are some issues which indeed when you read the KPMG report you could find, but there's nowhere in the KPMG report that says that these people did not do any job. They said they did some work and we were able to get about 20-something% increment. Again, they said we shouldn't abrogate it. We should look at the 4 years that they had been able to do the work and make sure that at least a renegotiation of the contract sum, so that at least it will be a fixed fee that should be paid. So within this period, when I have read the OSP's report, and I am not surprised that the OSP is saying that he's not even ready to go to court. He's only waiting until later part of this month to be able to charge them and so on. The operations of the OSP, I think, is problematic, looking at what he has been doing over time. 67 cases. We have expended in excess of 300 million in that office. He has not been able to recover even up to 10 million Ghana cedi. If there is any time an issue breaks up, he'll just quickly go and pick it without being able to really conclude on all these things. So the SML thing, he should conclude it, send it to court. Whoever is really culpable should be made to face the law. But the facts and the figures that we have shows that indeed SML did some work.
Okay, all right. You want to make a quick?
Yeah, I just think that he made some points indicating about benefits. Clearly, there are two different reports. If you are looking at the KPMG is not there to look at criminal-related or corruption-related issues. That's not it.
Yes.
As compared to that of OSP. But in the same KPM indicated that as he read their recommendation, GRA did not institute monitoring and evaluation processes to assess the performance of SML in respect of our transactions or the services. Then the SML delivered partially on the transaction or the services, and GRA may not have obtained all the expected benefits from what so there are quite a lot.
Okay, so in conclusion, this is what they said. In respect of downstream petroleum audit, based on the reckoning that SML has gained over 4 years, experience and has become more proficient, the contract price should be renegotiated, including the consideration of shifting from a variable to a fixed fee structure. So it means of all the things that they have said, in conclusion, this is what they are saying, that within the 4 years, they have done some work. Ghana has gained something from the work that they have been able to do, so we should only renegotiate and let them continue working. But if really the OSP is saying that he has found some corruption and corruption related in it, I am still for it that indeed it should go to court. People who are really culpable or maybe have answers to answer, they should be doing that. He can still proceed without necessarily having Ken Ofori-Atta in this country. He can still interview him wherever he is so that he can do that. We did it with Sednam Tamaklu. She was jailed in absentia. So for him to be saying that he needs the man here in this country, Ken Ofori-Atta can still come to this country and still decide not to speak to him. What can he do? He will have to prove his case in court. And that is by law. You arrest me, I can still remain mute without talking. You will have to prove that indeed I am culpable.
Okay, all right. Does that conclusion say to the report?
Clearly, I think that he shouldn't be defending distance.
So, did I defend?
I want us to be on the same page. Yeah, the conclusion, is that what is contained in that?
No, that conclusion we are talking about, even with the OSP. Is it there? No, OSP is even saying that. It's not even within his own remix or mandate to recommend to government whether to abrogate or not.
Anyway, it's been cancelled.
No, that's what everybody. This is a report. You just
but even KPMG is saying that if you cancel, there are consequences. When you read the report, they are saying that if you cancel, there are consequences.
So they will always be
because they have done some work.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you will see clearly that there is some level of internal control lapses at GRA. Because per what he has read, it's as if GRA was not able to monitor effectively and efficiently the revenue that they are generating from the whole arrangement. So there is an internal control lapses there. And you see, as a company, as an institution, once you don't have a very good and quality internal control, system, you may not be able to detect some of these, issues. They'll be hovering around. You just overlook them, but you are losing so much money. Yeah. So I think this is very good that GRA should build a very robust, efficient, and effective internal control system to monitor, on daily basis, real time, some of these defects.
But if we can give it to a private company and not pay too much and get better results.
Private company with that capacity is not the best.
But that's
clearly.
So I saying that they have capacity.
No,
an international accounting firm.
No.
But we read it.
No.
Because you know that if you set up a company with capacity to do this work, I'll be happy they give it to you.
It's the same thing, because in the report, the conclusion they went with,
OSP they lied that they went not even
they were just hiding behind. I made that point clear.
Okay.
They as a body do not have that capacity, and that was why they were rejected.
They didn't have capacity, and they are able to really.
But did you read the report?
I read the report. I read both the KPMG report and this one. Even I read it last year when it came up.
I'm grateful. Let me ask Nelson this question, and I'll come to Doc.
Okay. Yes,
now, on the 125 million recovery claim, SML described the purported 125 million recovery claim by the OSP as misleading, indicating that the state rather owes SML.
You see?
Pointing to official statement on verified performance data and financial reconciliations available directly from the GRA. Quote, SML's revenue assurance audit systems were developed entirely at its own cost and risk, without any financial support from the state. To date, our systems remain the first of its kind, fully integrated, multi-site digital audit and assurance system in the world, is stated. Now, if SML says that state didn't give us anything, where's the 125 coming from?
Well, that is what the OSP is saying. And that is what we need further clarity on.
Or maybe it's about more payment. They've paid them more than...
So I think it's an excess payment that was made to SML.
Okay, all right, thank you. Those this is not your first, but yeah, let me give you. When we come to NAIMOS, you
I know. Yeah, so I think I've been listening to all of them, and I believe that taxpayers' money is very important. And it's something that when we are dealing with it, we should be circumspect about how we tackle it. You know, in the Western world, where we go there to borrow money, they use taxpayers' money to do all these things.
Sure.
So if the OSP, according to what I'm reading, the OSP has detected some inflated costs, procurement breaches, and questionable contractual terms. If it's true, then like my brother said, those involved, the perpetrators should be brought to book, and they should be penalized to serve as, you know, deterrent to others. We have a lot of resources in this country. We can't continue to defraud the state and few people pocket millions of dollars into their pocket. Look, I toured the 5 northern regions recently. I think last 2 weeks, I drove through all the 5 northern regions. Some people need 1,000 Ghana cedis to start some business. Please, am I lying? I believe you are from
Even
the north.
sometimes less.
Yeah, sometimes 500 Ghana cedis to start business. They don't get it. But you see few people pocketing millions of dollars. So if, after the investigations, it comes out that some people have defrauded the state, I think they need to be punished. My brother, I'm done.
Thank you. That's a very powerful.
Okay. So let's now move into NAIMOS. Because the police, the IGP, has directed the CID headquarters to take over investigation into the attack on NAIMOS director and his team at Hwidiem. We understand the Esutifo North MP has been invited because on Sunday, according to report, he incited a mob against the NAIMOS officials. And so that should be done now. He is also explaining or telling his side of the issue. He says that on November 1, 2025, whilst en route to a funeral at Acherinsua in the Esutifo South constituency, I inquired from Honorable Collins Dauda, the MP for the Esutifo South constituency, whether he was available so we could move together. Then he says, Honorable Dauda indicated that he is currently not in the country, so I could represent him. Upon reaching Hwidiem, I realized there was a tension in town, so I inquired, and I was told there was a military operation going on at a gold extraction site. I quickly called back Honorable Dauda to inform him of the development. He asked me to go to the site to enable him speak with a team to ascertain what was going on, because one of the assembly members who he sent wasn't, I'm sure you wanted to say, wasn't able to speak to the military team. Upon reaching the site with my constituency vice chairman and driver, I introduced myself to the leader and asked he speaks to the person on the phone. Having arrived at the place, I saw some youth at the site, whilst others gradually massed up. The only advice I could give was for us to move to the police station to officially make a statement and subsequently hand over items and suspects to the police to calm tensions. Upon reaching the police station, it was seen that major road had been blocked, preventing vehicular movement. Together with the military, regional police crime officer, NIB operatives, Kenyasi police commander, we all remained in the police charge office whilst statements were being taken. I went further to call in the Zongo chief of Hwidiem to assist us in calming the situation, and he came. Having finalized the handing over of items to the regional crime office, the Zongo chief volunteered to pick the military officers into his Toyota Sequoia vehicle because the pickup of the military had been tampered with. Then he continues to say that the Toyota vehicle of the Zongo chief had 8 glasses smashed. So basically trying to tell his side of the story. But how do we take on this? Or how do we ensure that we get to the bottom of this particular development with NAIMOS and the operations at Hwidiem, for example?
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. You see, the minister is doing a good job now. And from what we are seeing, it looks like some party members are undermining the good works of the minister. and their actions are sabotaging the willingness of the president to address these galamsey issues and disgracing their NDC party. If you look at the names that came up, the Asutifu North MP and Alhaji Collins Dauda. In fact, yesterday I was sad.
Why were you sad?
Yeah, because hearing the name like Collins Dauda, who has been minister, who is a senior member of the party, giving some orders to the MP to go to the site and stop the NAIMOS operations.
From what I read, it didn't say stop.
Oh, they stopped them. Yeah. They even removed the handcuff. Yeah, from their hands.
But the MP, Collins Dauda, according to what we've read, did not ask him to go and stop it.
But he asked him to do what?
I am not in the constituency, so I want to ascertain what's happening. He's the MP of the area. If there's a commotion in the constituency and a colleague MP, let's say Bataglia, calls him that, Honorable, I am in your constituency, I've charged upon attention. And the MP says, I am not there. I've sent someone to find out what is happening. He's not being spoken to. So let me speak to the commander to understand what's happening. I'm not sure that statement alone indicts Collins Dauda to say he's been involved in the whole thing.
So when they were attacking the NAIMOS commander and his people, what did MP do? Yeah, the MP say.
Collins Dauda
Collins Dauda and the one there.
The one there.
Both of them.
He tried. That's why he said in his statement. He called the Zongo chief because he knows the people to try and calm the tensions. And we understand, according to the police, the Zongo chief was able to calm tensions. So, what wrong did the MP commit?
So, did you also read the statement by the minister? Because I have
police,
yes, and the police.
Okay.
Well, at this point, I would say they are investigating.
Yeah.
Let them continue the investigations. But we also attack.
Yeah.
We all saw them smashing cars and all that. So they should deal with them.
Yeah. So
whether they are,
around.
So because now we all know that Wuntumi is standing trial.
Yeah. Because
of a similar incident that happened when they were in power. Nobody talk about it. There will be a day that
not necessarily a similar, because they didn't attack the police and so on.
They attacked the forest.
Illegal mining. They are just there because of illegal mining. That's the reason he's in court today, not an assault. He's in court because he has been charged for mining illegally. Today he will be in court, even today. Today is 4th, right?
So were these guys also mining illegally?
Yes.
Were these guys also mining illegally?
Yes, and they also had to attack the...
Good. So if I say it's similar...
it's not the same, but similar.
It's not the same, but similar. That's why I use the word similar, but not the same. Anyway, they should do... You see the way they were even hitting the military guys for police to protect them. I've never seen it before. I've never seen it before. So, one thing that I will say is, when you are in power, try and do the right thing, so that when you are no more in power, you can sleep without any problems. Now, NAIMOS is trying to address these galamsey issues. In fact, when I toured the 5 northern regions last 2 weeks, I heard a lot of stuff, but I've done a summary and sent it to the minister alone to take action. That one I will not discuss it here. There are a lot of things going on that some Chinese guys, I'm even not bothered about the Ghanaians. The foreigners who are polluting our water bodies, degrading our lands, while some Ghanaians are behind them. And when they arrest them, they just deport them. My brother, if you go and see the devastations, I don't know if any of you have gone to the field, like the way I've been on the field several times, you will shock. And most of these Chinese guys, there are some politicians behind them. This man knows, everybody knows. It's not.
He knows better.
No? So you admit you know.
Everybody knows. If you tell me you don't know, then you are lying.
But he knows better,
You see, the president is willing to address this matter. But one thing we all should know is, all the political parties, some members are doing this small-scale mining. Right. Some are legitimate small-scale miners. Some are illegal miners.
Okay.
But the bottom line is, one minute, both the legitimate and the illegal miners, they all pollute water bodies and degrade lands. When I went to the tour, the 5-day tour, they confessed that yes, but we need to get the procedures, practical procedures, where we can work without polluting water bodies and degrade. That is what the government should focus on. And that is what the minister is trying to.
And that can be done.
That can be done.
You have the techniques.
Why not? Okay. That can be done. Oh. So let's support the government. It's not about people NDC. We are all drinking, water. So let's all support the government to succeed in this.
All right. Thank you. Well,
he's been waiting for this.
I've been waiting. I think when I listened to the report, to be very honest, when I saw the video yesterday, I was completely shattered. Yeah. Because, you see, they were in a police station. And according to the report, the police station was not safe for military people. This is a police station. The district police command, not really any small police station. Then they said the place is not conducive for military people. Then you and I, what will happen? Now, when you see the video, when the Zongo chief even brought the car, look at how they are beating them. They are still beating them until they enter. You see civilian. I have never seen a civilian beating a military person before. I have never. In a police station. And look at how they smash the back. You see, when I saw the statement by the MP, I looked at it and I laughed. Because you see, when you tell me that Collins Dauda, you saw it, you were going and you saw some people there and you called the MP and he asked you that go and speak to the people, and you went there and you spoke to them and so on. After that, you moved to the police station. That is not a fact, because you had Erastus Asaredonko saying something different. According to Erastus, the MP stood there for 2 hours and was haggling with them to remove the handcuff from the boys.
Yep. Or from the video.
Yeah.
Yes. From the boys. He said he was haggling with them to remove it before he was able to bring in some people. According to the police, he mobilized 600 people to come there and attack them. This is the statement by the police. Paragraph 4 of the police statement is saying that the MP brought in 600 mobs to come to the police station to attack the police station and make sure that they take all the things that were seized by them. Again, Collins Dauda cannot tell me that he called an assemblyman. You are an MP, honorable. If there is something happening in the district capital, because Bruni Krom is just a stone throw, it's just within Hwidiem, I know the place. If something is happening, the first person you call is not assemblyman, you call the DCE. The first person is the district capital. Hwidiem is the district capital, and the district is there. The DCE is there, who is the dissect chairman. So the first person to call is the district security chairman, who is the DCE, who is even an NDC person. You don't go for an MP from a different place to come and do that.
He says the MP was on his way to a funeral.
So, according to Collins Dauda, before the MP called him, he received some calls from the constituents. And he called an assemblyman to go and speak to the NAIMOS commander. And they refused to speak to the assemblyman. So that was when he deployed the MP to go there. Don't forget that these are just adjoining constituencies. The MP could have moved within 10 minutes to get to the place from Kenyasi. It will be easier for him to move and get to the place. And again, what he's saying that he saw roadblocks and so on, Erastus, who is an independent person, who is an award-winning journalist, is saying that he got there and was haggling with them to remove the handcuffs that they had done. They had handcuffed the people. Again, yesterday he spoke to Asempa FM. And on Asempa, he confirmed that before he left the police station, all the items seized by the police were given to the guys. This is what he told Asempa yesterday. So this government is an enabler of Galamsey.
I see.
Because you see, this is the first time we are hearing that MPs are directly involved in our win. The chiefs there organized press conference, slaughtered the sheep, and ostracized Oscar Ofori-Labi, and said that they don't need him there because he has
been giving concessions to the galamseyers in a forest reserve and was taking them 200,000 cedis. Have you heard anything about it since they did that press conference? Yamin and Abanga were accused of doing that. They said, oh, we have asked Yoko to invite them. This is about 6 months that the president asked Yoko to invite them. We have not heard anything from Yoko. Now there are MPs, there are DCs who are alleged to have been involved in galamsey. So nothing has happened. Now today, this is what we are seeing. The people entrusted to go and really make sure that they rid forest with these people are being beaten in a police station to the extent that they had to reach an agreement that they should move from the police station because the police station was not safe. But the Kenya's mining site will be safer for them because that is where they were moved to. So that is why we're looking at it, because if they're not emboldened enough, these are constituency executives. For all you know, they are constituency executives. That's why they were emboldened enough to go to the police station to attack military people in a police station.
Constituency executives are not 600. The police is 600.
I'm saying that those who have, I'm sure the story will come up. Those who were handcuffed, that the MP was haggling with the NAIMOS people to be able to remove it.
You are talking about.
Exactly. These are the people. So they went out, mobilized the people, came there, and threatened to burn the police station. So if police station is not safe for a military man, then as a civilian, what will happen to me? Ghana is not safe for some most of them.
Let me bring in a lead anti-galamsey campaigner, Senyo Hosi, who's been part of those citizens who've been campaigning seriously against galamsey. Grateful to you, sir, for joining us. Now, with what happened in Hwidiem, I mean, what hope do you have in the fact that we can win this fight against galamsey? Do I still have Senyo Hosi on the line? Mr. Hosi, do I have you?
I'm here. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning. So first of all, give me your I mean, how you took the Hwidiem incident and what's your level of hope in us winning the fight against galamsey from that particular development?
Oh, I think this is just the perfect test of whether the president, His Excellency John Mahama, has the political will to fight galamsey or not. This is the biggest test. It's the biggest test. The president coming to office rightly said that he needed to deal with the kingpins and not the small boys. Yes. And I agree with him on that strategically. He killed the snake at the head, not be just chipping off the scale. So I agree with him. And it's been 10 months. We have not seen the kingpin yet. These are the kingpins, Mr. President. These are your kingpins. His ability to deal with his own people will be a sign of his real commitment. When he fails at that point, you should know the fight against galamsey has failed. And Mr. President had no intent to fight galamsey. If this particular matter, he can't deal with it ruthlessly to send the right signal to his own people, then there's no hope. At that point, we'll take our decision and we'll regain control of this fight by forcing those who we have voted for to do the right thing. What is at stake is the future of our children and our children's children.
So Senyo, what do you want the president? Okay, all right.
The future of our statehood. We have time and time again mentioned the issue about the security risk. This increasingly posing. If NAIMOS, led by the army, can be so disregarded and so not feared, and people can counter-fight them, and we can mobilize people, mobs, to almost lynch them, then it tells you the state in which we are in. We are gradually becoming a lawless state because of galamsey. And His Excellency the President cannot sit by and watch this country lose its own statehood, chip by chip, space by space, and claim to be president. No. This is a major risk, Grace. Major risk. People don't fear our soldiers anymore. We all grew up and we understood what it means to be in that army uniform. When people they lost faith in the police, we still kept faith to the army. So if we can't respect our police, we can't respect our army, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Think deep about what I'm saying. And you will see that just a matter of time we become a stateless state. We are increasingly becoming a failed state. So His Excellency the President, this is your perfect time to show your commitment to this fight, to show your leadership.
So I want
for the first time, show your might constructively. Otherwise, you come out as weak and leaderless.
So, Mr. Hosi, I wanted to find out from you what exactly you want the president to do in this instance.
Grace, the MPs have been cited. The kingpins showed up. His Excellency the President is the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. He has absolute executive power. And you want to be asking me what he should be doing? If he can't show that he is a president, am I the one to show him that he's a president?
A help.
By this month, he should have rounded up all these people. Summon them. Make sure those MPs are arrested. Make sure every one of those people who were mentioned, who have been identified and confirmed by the police and the NAIMOS boss, are arrested ruthlessly. Make sure they are arrested in handcuffs with the screens showing them. He should be there and walk up there to those cells and tell them his peace of mind. And let his people know that he's not entertaining any nonsense in the name of party faithfuls. John Mahama is not standing for re-election. If he cannot give a legacy for himself and for his family, then he's not fit to be president. And that's not the man I know. He's a man who wants to leave a legacy. And I want to count on that knowledge of him, that faith I have in him, that he will surely that way. We shouldn't be waiting another 24 hours and have these idiots parading as politicians, still working on this piece. They should be summoned and immediately arrested. Please, those who show their face, Colin Downer, everybody that he was talking. They are linked to Colin Downer. The ones you can confirm for sure. You said, look, the commander-in-chief sends a directive and sends a head of his army, one of the senior officers of his army, to represent him on the field. And people try to link it. It's equal to trying to link the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces on a national mission that the president used to count 10% across. Are you not aware that would have had a major aluta by now?
Yeah.
The only reason it never happened is because he called us to the Flagstaff House for us to come and hear his NAIMOS story. And we all believed him. And if you send a whole Kenabua and you show us all those things that he was doing, and you see people come and almost lynch him, that should tell you that the people are ready to lynch you, commander-in-chief, because work after they don't respect you. It's time for them to see that you are the commander-in-chief. Let them feel your power. Because what is at stake is your legacy. What is at stake is the future of this country. What is at stake is actually the legitimacy of your own leadership.
Well, Mr. Hosi, the police say they have invited the MP to assist in investigations.
They shouldn't be inviting anybody. They arrest that damn idiot. They arrest him. How can you have a whole kennel sitting there taking action and you come and you are giving instructions and seizing keys from them to unlock people? Everybody saw it. Who are these boys who end up coming into parliament? Who are they? Who are they? Who are they? Who are these young boys get Galamsey body find themselves in parliament? Who are they? Honorable what? Honorable nothing. I don't know. These other people you expect them giving any respect to. The president has embarrassed you, His Excellency the President. Has embarrassed your party. If the NDC is a serious party, it should actually be commissioning an immediate investigation. Somebody is saying they're really removing the guy from office. You can carry the name National Party Congress and still be carrying and behaving like this. You can't. The NDC, it is a test. General Mosquito wants to be president. It is no secret. If, Mr. Chairman, you can't show leadership, you are not fit to be president tomorrow. Don't even try. Me, myself, I'll deal with you where I find you. Meanwhile, you are my friend too. If Julius Zebra, who also wants to be president, will sit at the place as a chief of staff and watch this. It is my brother. He is my brother. We find the place where we meet ourselves. What are you talking about? This guy has denigrated His Excellency the President, has practically insulted the commander-in-chief of this country, has brought into disrepute your party, the National Democratic Congress, which is small. It will fight Galamsey ruthlessly. And you set up a whole machinery. And I'm telling you, I'm aware, His Excellency the President summoned his people early days and warned them, told them that he's going to take action. This all stop. Anyone who is inside, he did that. I'm aware. Those who were for the meeting told me. So the president has sent his directives clear. The party has sent its directive officially clear. Look at what the Deputy General Secretary said. Bandit, what did Bandit tell the NAIMOS people? That the person who sent you is His Excellency the President, the Commander-in-Chief. There's nobody bigger than that guy. One said the same thing. Honorable Imanova said the same thing. The person who sent you is the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. He's the President. He's the biggest man in the country. So if anybody tells you that some big man, tell that big man that the biggest man has sent you. So I cannot listen to that any other big man. They took all this and people can come and disrupt it. They are disrupting the Fast Cap or Jubilee House, whichever house you want to call it. The state of president has been degraded by what has happened. And if the president can't see it, he won't. That MP should not be working. I don't know his name, sir. That MP who joined the squad to try and stop the NAIMOS, all the president has to do is take and make a call to Kenavua. If this fact's true, it's true. Finish this guy. Finish him. And the party must sack that guy from the party. Remove him from parliament. The NDC will still win that same place.
You want him to be removed? Can they actually remove him as the MP?
Yeah. Absolutely. Who told you he can? Doesn't he represent the party? Go look at the constitution. If you try and leave the party, you see if the party forces you to leave, what will happen? Who are you going to represent? You'll be out.
Okay.
Their legitimacy sitting there only to the extent that they are members of their party. If they are removed as members of their party, what will happen to them? Who are they? Who are these boys? These boys, who are they? What have they seen in life? Apart from these criminal acts, what meaningful things have they done? What is it that they've done legitimately? Yeah, all of us are struggling. Teachers are struggling to build life for their children. Nurses are struggling. Doctors are struggling to even reach an end. People are trying to build legitimate life. Businessmen are trying to pay people legitimately. Then you are destroying the future of future because you call your honorable. I don't want to use anymore. Honorable voice.
Senyo, so do you have a timeline within which you think?
I have to call on Speaker Badu.
Okay.
The more he continues to sit back and just pass one or two comments, the more he himself is embarrassing his own legacy.
Who sent this to me?
Because Babi must start taking advantage of this thing and show the real minds that we know he has. We cannot be sitting there and be doing this and watching these things. We petitioned him about our win. And they responded to our petition. What has Parliament itself done? When we petitioned him about our win MP. Now this one is not traditional leaders sitting down and then saying something. This is happening live. There are videos to it. There are witnesses to it. What will Parliament do about this? Will Parliament take responsibility and start sanctioning, even if the executive will fail? This country is failing. All the arms of government are willfully failing because they're all being clouded by money. This is a real test to show that they don't intend to be failing.
Okay.
It can't get clearer than this. The president's authority has been brought into disrepute and has been brought into question. His legitimacy has been brought into question by his own people. If he can take action on his own people, can you imagine what's going to happen to the MPC Ghanaians? They better take cover. This is the time to send the story right and there's no better time. If he misses it, we should have created a great disturbance in this country.
So, I mean, I can see the passion with which you are speaking this morning.
Master, what's the passion? You can afford poison. You can afford deep poison.
Yeah.
People are eating poison. You are saying passion. People are drinking poisoned water because they can't come and afford the imported water and the belacos we have in Accra. People are struggling. People are dying. People are giving birth to aliens. People with six toes and all that, with a part of their body not there, one arm, half limbed. People are dying, and you think it's passing.
Well, maybe I didn't find the right word to describe you, but I wanted to find out from you, from this, is there a period in which, after which, if you don't see that action you are looking for, you and your group may probably, react to this?
You think that's me and my group? You yourself, you think you won't join? If you don't join,
I'll join.
You don't have to go.
Why won't I join you? I'll join you. This is a national fight, so I'll join you.
Every Ghanaian has to go. It's not me and my group. Every Ghanaian has to rise. Because where we are right now, if we don't have leaders, then we have to fight for ourselves. That is where it is.
Okay.
If we don't have leaders, then we have to fight for ourselves. If we miss fighting for ourselves, we mean those who have voted, going there to disrupt them to get up and act, we'll do it. What is this? The people are holding guns. Look, if this small Hwidiem, me, I know Hwidiem. I partly grew up in Mem and Gosu. I know Hwidiem. I've sold things there. I know Hwidiem. If this Hwidiem town can come together and stop, bring a whole army platoon to a halt, and police people will be begging them. Then I don't know if the people, the Ghanaian people, when they organize themselves fully with their guns, with their automatic rifles that now they are acquiring, I don't know whether we will actually still have a country. It won't be long, we will become Sierra Leone, which was doing blood diamonds. Very soon. We are playing with the things small by small, but this is what is going to happen.
Okay. All right. I'm grateful to you, Senyo, for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you.
Senyo Hosi is a lead and a campaigner against Galamsey. Well, let me come into the studio. I think I was going to come to you, Honorable Batagle, on this.
Yeah, thank you.
Senyo says the president has to show that he is the commander-in-chief and get, and act on this. And he's even saying that your party can disband these two MPs.
No. You see, we operate within the confines of laws. And as much as I appreciate...
So I think the right word is dismember, right? You take them out of the party.
But until they are found guilty, you cannot take such decisions. But I think I admire the passion of our brother and many other stakeholders who are in this field. Clearly, what we are experiencing further exposes the danger in which we sit on. As a country, things happen and we so suddenly forget. Some few years down the line, even around Bole, the same thing. I think a military man was shot dead by an unknown assailant because when they were going with the dissect team to go fight the same problem around Bole, that we have the dollar power angle. Some years back, his military man, when he got out of the car, he was shot dead. Several other people were injured. We saw the stories of late Major Mahama. Unfortunate incident. It happened in this country. It's telling us that no, the Constitution emphasizes this. As per Article 41, indicated that all of us have a role to play, including the community. It means that the fight is not just people sitting on top. It involves almost everybody. To the extent that when the people came, they mobbed up, they were looking for one person, Zongo chief. It meant that they are stakeholders, that when we are able to identify them properly, we will deal with some of these issues. It's true, sometimes it can be so annoying, we can be frustrated, but we need to be able to bring minds together to handle this issue. Time has come, myself and I was sitting down here, we've been exposed badly as politicians on this. The only time we can become more relevant to Ghanaians is when we come together as a people to deal with some of these issues. To me, I have concluded by saying that my friend Eben, the MP, I was just trying to say that maybe he found himself at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just like me and Mohammed Sukparo. He's for West, I'm for Sisala East. Assuming I'm traveling to Sisala West, an incident like that happened. Because I'm just thinking somebody will move from south, from north to south to mobilize 600 people. sometimes it's quite difficult. But you know this, our youth. It has become an entitled thing. They even think that that's a source of survival. It has become an entitlement. We are fighting among our people. And even this, I think Erastus also made it clear that we must also put on record that these gentlemen were not caught at what? The forest area. They had a particular place. And I think initial movement of the NAIMOS team was not even going there. They were going somewhere, and I think they spotted them. But unfortunately, the MP found himself this. I think that he should respond to the call, make sure that he states the issues as they are. The right investigation should be taking place. Even now that we are fighting against the top people, it also shows that we can no longer hide the people. And that's a good thing for me. I am happy that they are calling the president, but clearly, it's not even just the president. Almost everybody is fighting against us. It has gone beyond just destroying our environment to becoming a life-threatening issue. Let me tell you, most of me, I have always said it, even where I come from, most of the people, young people I know who moved to this Galamsey site came back with sicknesses and died. I have been called on a number of occasions to pay some bills for people with having kidney issues and liver issues, a lot. That alone, even most of them, when I meet my guys at Tumo, I tell them, let's wait here and try to use the land we have. Let's not go look for Galamsey.
We have that's also illegal.
Illegal. No, but that one we managed to stop it. Even it's been done now. I think that the system has been able to fight it, even though it's so difficult to deal with. Yes, but I'm saying that this is a threat that is not threatening just our livelihood in the forest or our water bodies. It's now coming back to us. Anytime I go to sea, you see, it's easy for people to hold guns. Now, when they don't find the gold, what do? The roads become very dangerous to ply. This is what we should all begin to look at. It has gone beyond just an Accra issue or Hwidiem issue or one-on-one. No. Issues have happened. The MPs have given their versions. I'm sure when Honorable Collins Order comes in, if there's something for him to answer, he will go and answer. But he also said that people shouldn't run into conclusion without hearing his side of the story.
Okay.
The same as this MP. A young man who has found himself, sometimes these people will call you for things that you cannot even imagine. He is a politician, and sometimes those things that happen, if you want to be open with people, they know that you are fighting it. I'm sure this man will be the last person, knowing very well that you are there to make laws. And the laws also enjoin that you should be able to protect our environment. The president and everybody is crying towards one thing. You will be the last person.
But people say they saw him on
no, you see, that's what I'm saying, that he found himself at the wrong place at the wrong time. I just made that conclusion. He found himself at the wrong place at the wrong time.
And engage in the
all he needs to do is to calm down and explain, respond to all the calls, make sure that he donates himself. But I'm sure nobody's going to put this under the carpet. But like I said, we have been badly exposed as politicians on this. Let's put the declaration aside and look at the issue that is threatening all of us as a people. That's the way to go. And I applaud all those who are putting up this. And I think Asari and his team, we have Senyo Hosi and my brother who is here, everybody. It is time for us to rise up and be able to fight this.
Now, there's a statement from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. It says, I want to leave the opening remark, or the opening paragraph. It says, having been adequately briefed on the matter, the Minister strongly condemns the incident which occurred on Saturday, 1st November 2025. Subsequently, the Minister has held meetings with the Speaker of Parliament and the Minister for the Interior for the conduct of swift and rigorous investigations into the unfortunate circumstances. This is in line with government's commitment to bring to book all perpetrators who aid, support, or front the continuous decimation of the environment. That's signed by Paikosi Shandov, Media Relations Officer. Yes.
See, you know, government over the years have instituted the alternative livelihood program for these miners. There was a gentleman who was saying that I make 2,000 cedis within 3 days as a result of the Galamsey activity. Now, the question you ask yourself is, what economic activity can that gentleman do and make 2,000 cedis in 3 days? You understand? What it means is that over the years, the alternative livelihood program that governments have instituted within the mining communities have not yielded the right results. Because when you are telling the gentleman not to go to the pit and mine, how will he feed the family. So I don't know, as part of your research, what you guys have come up with regarding alternative livelihood for these miners. I wouldn't say illegal miners, but miners in general within the mining communities. The illegal mining is an existential threat to this country, to the extent that the pollution of the rivers is not only in Ghana. I was told that now the pollution is entering even our neighboring countries.
Yeah. Burkina Faso.
Yes.
And Ivory Coast, yeah.
And in international environmental law, there is a principle that we call the producer pay principle. So once you are the one polluting the environment, you will be held responsible and accountable for the pollution, which means that in the near future, Burkina Faso, La Côte d'Ivoire, and other neighboring countries, they may want to take on the state of Ghana regarding the pollution of their water bodies from, the mining activities. And so it's a very dicey situation that I need, especially those who are within that domain, those of you who are there to take up this challenge, and all of us, as the gentleman who spoke earlier said, it's a collective responsibility. You cannot leave this fight to a certain segment of the people. But I think more attention should be focused on the livelihood of people within mining communities. If he's making 3,000, 5,000 in a week, and you ask him to stop, that's a very difficult thing to do.
So how do,
so that is why I'm suggesting that we have to relook at all those policies that we have implemented in the past. You understand? I know there was a program in the past for government to give cocoa seedlings to the miners for the reclamation of the mining, but these are medium to long-term, projects. I also know government in the past was engaging these mining communities regarding poultry farming. You understand? So we need to relook at, but to the extent that we are not finding a viable economic activity for the miners, they will still continue to go and do what they are doing. That is one part. The second part of it has to do with the people who are actually behind the mining. Somebody will tell you that the politicians themselves are the ones financing the illegal mining because they need money for their next election.
And bad business.
And to some extent, we could accept it to be true. And so to the extent that we don't identify these people and deal with them, the problem will continue to exist with that. In fact, we've started talking about this Galamsey issue, since a decade ago. Even though the mining was there, the environmental impact was not that serious. Since the administration of the MPP, we've been talking about all this. So I think that going forward, we need to relook at the economic livelihood of those miners. Most of them are school dropouts. Most of them in the mining communities. And once we are able to look at this, and I think we can be getting closer to finding a lasting solution to the illegal mining. So that will be my brief comment on it.
Great. Yes, so when I hear people say, get some livelihood, alternative livelihood for these people, when you go to the Galamsey areas, majority of the people who tell you they get 500, 5,000, 6,000 are not even from the communities. I work with the Youth Employment Agency. When we roll out a model and we send it to these places, they even fight for the positions. We pay them 500 cedis, but they still pick them. Those who go there, if you're able to stem it in the bud over there, those inhabitants there will take all these jobs. We went and did skills training for them, and a lot of them picked it up, and they were doing it. But people move from their communities and go there. Honorable just confirmed that people even move as far as from his constituency.
People move from Burkina Faso.
Exactly. So when you think that the person takes 10,000, 5,000, so the reason you have to get something which is bigger. No. Even something small will still be okay for them. When you go to these areas...
But his argument is that those things you say we've done,
yes.
What have they brought to the fight against Galamsey?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why he's calling for a re-exam.
That's what I'm saying, that if you're able to really stop the Galamsey over there, those who migrate from their areas to go there to do this mining will not be there. So the people there will be able to really continue with their farming, because when they were growing up, their parents were engaged in farming and so on. They will continue. And if there are skills training that you do,
Fortunately, the government says it will continue what we started. You know, we started the skills training. We did 10,000 people where we trained them in hairdressing and so on. Now the government is saying that they will continue. And NYA is taking up that charge. When you go to areas like this, the people, the inhabitants, the real inhabitants embrace it. And they do it. And they embrace it. But you see, people who come from far away will come there and pollute the waters. Because if they are drinking the water, they may not be able to pollute the water. But you see, I think the campaign that JoyNews is doing is really telling us one thing. Dear Mahama, stop galamsey now. It means the president will be able to really solve the galamsey today. He said he will go after the kingpins. NAIMOS told us that they had arrested 1,400 people over the last 8 months. Yeah. Out of the 1,400, how many of them are kingpins? We are yet to see a single kingpin, but fortunately now, we know the kingpins. We know those who really supported them to even attack a police station.
On this case, you have been judged.
They are the kingpins.
No, you have been judgmental.
But where are the kingpins? Because you see, according to the president, at that time, he said, we were arresting only small boys that when he is elected, he will even give them amnesty to come back because there are campaigns in it. And now names of MPs, party officials, MCs are being mentioned. They are the campaigns. Because who enabled them? They are the enablers. Because if an MP could go there and stand there, haggle with them for 2 hours, and after that it didn't work out, they go to the police station, mobilize. He's saying that, well, he is not from there, from the north. From Kenya to Hwidiem is not far away. Again, he has been a parliamentary candidate twice before winning the elections. So they work together with Collins Dauda. Collins Dauda, almost all the MPs go to his constituency to work. I have been to the constituency to work for parliamentary candidates. So I know that indeed all of them will mobilize and come and work for him. So they know the boys over there. You know those in the other constituency. All the boys, all the constituency executives in the Sisala West, you know them.
But to mobilize them within a short period.
You see, it's not mobilizing. You see, when he went there and was haggling with them, the boys started calling people. They started calling. And that is how they were able to mobilize.
The guys, my brother, I can confidently tell you that one galamsey site can employ over 1,000 people.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So that galamsey site alone can get that 600 people.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it means that he didn't mobilize them. They were
the police says he mobilized them.
That's the point I'm trying to
make. The police says he mobilized them from the site to go and attack.
See, that the twin is that that's why we operate within the confines of law, and principle of natural justice means that you have to listen to both sides. So he's been called to respond. Let's listen to what he has.
We listen to Erastus, who is in the middle.
Yeah,
police is on the other side. He is also on the other side. With the galamsey. Now Erastus, who is a journalist, is saying that all that he has told us about how the MP went there, tried to stop them and so on. He is standing by the story because he has a video to read.
No, this morning I even listened to Erastus too, but I think all that will be put in a pool and then we'll come out with a resource. That's it.
This is a test case for the president.
Of course.
Whether he will be able to...
There were many test cases that the president came out...
Well,
stop the
thank you very much. Doc, I'll give you the last word.
Yes.
Help stop the galamsey, please.
So, listening to everyone here, and then Senyo Hosi, who is a convener, I think we need to come together as a people and then address the menace associated with this small-scale mining and galamsey. You know, we have the licensed small-scale miners, like I said, and the illegal miners who are the galamseys. Their operations, both the licensed ones and the illegal ones, their operations pollute water bodies and degrade land. That's a fact. This alternative livelihood, my brother, excavator operator, they pay him 800 Ghana cedis a day. Chop money. The money you use to eat or drink or anything. I think 500 Ghana or 200 Ghana a day. After that, they are fed morning, afternoon, evening on site. So if somebody is doing this job and you tell the person to go and do a rice farm,
back to where he comes
maize
from.
farm or whatever.
He should go back to his constituency.
So now, in my view, and in the views of a lot of mining technocrats that I've listened to, small-scale mining is in our law. if you look at Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, Section 80, all the way down, if you are a Ghanaian, 18 years and above, with sound mind, you can apply for a license and you'll be given a concession to mine legally, small-scale mining.
All right.
Please,
our time is up, so wrap.
Yeah, 1 second. So now, whether we like it or not, it is instituted in the law. What we can do to address this is the menace associated with the operations, which is the water pollution and land degradation. There are technologies, my brother, that we can bring it on board, implement for them to mine without polluting water bodies.
Absolutely.
And then also do concurrent reclamation to address the menace associated with small-scale mining.
Absolutely.
And Galam say, that is what the minister wants to bring, but there is no money. There is no money. That is a fact. Ask the minister, he will tell you he's struggling
we should declare state of emergency on our water bodies. On our water bodies alone. Yes, when we declare state of emergency on our water bodies, what will happen? You don't need money to do this.
For the water bodies, I agree that.
Yes.
But anybody mining on the water body is illegal.
So we should declare state of emergency
on our water bodies.
The government cannot do that.
This man
so
and
the
his
state
government
of emergency is
brought
unnecessary.
an airline that even gave the chance to permitting people to mine at the water.
But
for the last 10 months, you have not been able to do that.
We are just taking it out.
You see, you brought it on. You are doing it in the forest. That's why you are.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm grateful. This one says, hello, gentlemen. This one says, good morning, Kojo. Please, the Galamsey devastation should not be ascribed to our children in the future. It is now. God willing, we'll be alive in the next 5 years. And if things continue as they are, we will feel its repercussions all over the country. Mr. Justice Kobna brought this one in from Dumpim. Thank you very much. Nelson Kujo Kuagbeji is head of finance, Melbourne Capital. Mohamed Batagla is MP for Sisala East. He will be moving to the west, and then he will move. He's also a member of the TOR board. Awal Mohammed is a member of the MPP's National Communications team. And Dr. Owusu is a mining engineering consultant based in the US of A. But he's in Ghana to see what... if he's given $200 million, he can help us find it. Well, we'll take a break here. We will be back with more. Please do stay on the AM show.
You're watching the AM show. Thank you so much for staying. And on to our big stories this morning. And so WAEC to hold for investigation the result of 34,563 candidates of 2025 WASSCE due to examination malpractice. Question is, how do we cure this academic deficit that seems to be unending? Let's get some details. And joining us via phone is John Kapi. He is Head of Public Affairs at WAEC. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The last time we had a conversation here, you had just started rolling out the exams. We're here today because you're holding some number of persons' results for examination malpractice. I recall the day that you joined us in studio here, there were some assurances that together with GES, you were combating this menace. Tell me, you have reported that 34,563 candidates from the 2025 WASSCE African Exam Certificate is being investigated, particularly on malpractice. Let me in on this. Which type of malpractice was quite prevalent? Collusion or maybe use of foreign materials? Which one of them?
Good morning, and thanks for having me. First of all, I just want to place on record that we have not released any official statement. I've come across the statement that you are referring to. I've read it myself. There are a lot of factual inaccuracies in that statement. So really, The thing is that, yes, we rolled out actually a more elaborate inspection team. We had people all over the place. We monitored very carefully the exams. Of course, there were still some bad nuts in the system, and so we still recorded a number of irregularities. However, we are still dealing with those issues. We have not concluded our investigations, and so it is not true that we have withheld the results of 34,000 and something candidates. For now, no, we haven't put any figures out.
Okay, and so this, should we disregard these figures completely, as the statement has the letterhead of the GES? Should we completely, it's just right beside me, should we completely disregard the statement?
Absolutely, yes, because I'm usually in touch with my colleague, the head public relations at the Ghana Education Service. Even this morning we spoke, and he told me that they hadn't put out any statement regarding the examinations. Usually, they would pick up information from us before they go public. If there are issues that have to do with us, if it doesn't have any relation with us, they go ahead and do their own publications. And once this has to do with us, certainly he was supposed to have called to seek clarification, but he says that he hasn't put out any statement, and so the statement should be disregarded.
Okay. Usually, what period would you release the WASSCE results, usually?
Right. So depending on when the last paper is written, we give ourselves close to 40 or 45 days within which to process the results, of course, barring any hitches in terms of technology. But as we speak, we are done with all the marking. We are going to go to the next stage, that is processing the results. We're going to have to put together the marks and then grade the candidates appropriately. It's a painstaking job, and we need to take our time to do it in order that we are able to award candidates the grades that they truly deserve.
Okay, so you'd say that there's not undue delay at all?
No, not at all. We are still within the period that we, set ourselves to process and release the results.
Right. I mean, so while I also acknowledge that you have to process and give candidates the accurate results, on the face of it so far, comparing it to previous years in terms of malpractice and the promises of how you've tightened all the loopholes, does it look positive this year? Does it look like after we have disregarded these numbers, even if there are some malpractices, as you have just been saying, of course, they are bad nuts, it will not look like this number at all? It will be better?
Well, I wouldn't say it will be better. From what I've seen, from a cursory look at what we have, I think that we recorded quite a number of malpractices. We haven't put them together to compare with figures that we had in the previous years. But then what I would probably say is that as a result of our presence across the country, we probably may have, sprung a surprise on a number of these institutions that, felt that nobody was going to come there. So it will be difficult for us to say, for example, that this year people made serious attempts to cheat much more than they did in previous years. Once you have the presence of our monitors around, certainly you are going to pick up a number of people who, attempt to cheat. So it is not very easy for us to put figures to them and say, okay, this year they did worse than they did last year. Maybe last year we didn't see because we're not there. But once we're there this year, and of course, the examiners also would draw our attention when they come across some of these issues.
Right. Previously, which regions would you say were the hotspots?
Well, the hotspots in the country were the Bono East, Ahafo, and Ashanti, and then parts of Central region. When in terms of figures, you probably may think that, figures over here are higher than them. But we realized in the last 2 years that in the Central region, the figures were beginning to go up relatively. So we would say for the hotspots, we'll take the Bono regions, that is Bono East, Ahafo, and then Ashanti. These are the hotspots that we have as far as examination malpractice are concerned.
Okay. Again, just a casual look at it, because you don't have the numbers yet. Looking at how technology has evolved, the use of AI and all of that, the type of malpractice that was happening previously, has it become sophisticated just on the face of it, despite you not having the numbers? Of course, you were getting reports even at the time that the exam was happening, when candidates were taking the exams. At the casual look of it, has it taken a more sophistication turn, or it's still very traditional?
Yeah, it's a bit more sophisticated than it was previously, because the number of mobile phones that we come across increases by the year. This year, we came across a lot more mobile phone cases on the part of the candidates, on the part of invigilators. We also have situations where, this issue of making photocopies of responses and distributing same to the candidates. A number of the centers that we went to, we discovered that. Those traditional malpractices, let me put it that way, were basically candidates having prepared notes on them, sometimes exchanging their scripts in the examination hall and all of that. But this time around, they've gone beyond those basic things and they are adapting much more sophisticated things like, having their teachers photocopy the responses and bringing it to them in the examination halls. And then also candidates being able to access their phones and so resort to the use of AI to answer their questions.
Okay. After you've released the results and just maybe if you get to withhold some results because of suspected malpractices, what form and shape will the punitive measures take?
Well, a number of the measures that we take when we come across one of these cases are usually spelled out clearly. We make the candidates aware of what they are likely to suffer if they did one thing or another. So in the case of mobile phone offenses, the entire results of the candidates will be cancelled. For those who have case of collusion, those in whose scripts we discover the similarity in responses, we would go ahead and cancel those subject results. Basically, these are the two main punishments that we have, either cancellation of the entire results or cancellation of subject results, depending on the nature of the offense.
Okay. I mean, especially because this statement is not coming from you, neither is it coming from the GES. Maybe my final question will be that if I just also take a casual look at the years and the numbers, it looks to me as though 2022 would be the figure that is the highest. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, this year, does it look positive for you as well? Do you think that your measures that you have put in place and all of that, even if they're bad nuts, it would not be as much as previous years?
Well, I would want to believe that having had our people around a lot of the centers, in some of the areas we were told that once they were present, the people could not do whatever it is that they thought they could do. There are also some areas where we, felt that in a way they, managed to have their way, if you want. But then once we have not concluded investigations, especially for this year's results, it will not be easy for me to want to make any comparison between the cases recorded in 1 year against what we have recorded this year. But I think that what we can say for sure is that this year we had quite a number of monitors around, and they would all testify to the fact that there have been a few more sophisticated ways by which the people want to cheat in examinations.
Whilst you are in and on time, do you have a tentative date for the release of the results? Tentative?
We probably will look at a couple of weeks. As I speak, my colleagues are in their meetings, putting things together. So within this week and next week, I believe that they should be able to conclude on the issues and then have the results released.
Thank you so much for attending to us on the show this morning.
It's my pleasure.
John Kapi speaks for WAEC. He's Head of Public Affairs at WAEC. Stay with me. You're watching the AM show. Thank you for staying with us. This is the AM show. So you have been enjoying the science and maths quiz so far. But of course, there are people who have made it quite possible for you to enjoy it. And this morning, we have also invited some of our friends to tell us exactly what their brands are about and why they even decided to be part of the NSMQ this year. And this morning, I'm joined by Nana Kosia Boatema Okanse. She is a lecturer at Family Health University. I get to understand what exactly she teaches over there and why they even had to matter themselves with the NSMQ this year. And what's even more interesting is that I'm joined by a student as well from Family Health University, Bernard Opoku. We'll also get to know what he has been learning over there and why his choice. But as well, a popular brand, Ayuda, and this one, Vanessa Williams, is a customer experience executive joining us in studio. Vanessa, Nana Kosia, and Bernard, thank you for joining us in studio.
Thank you for having me.
I'll go to the students actually. So tell me, first of all, why you decided to take a course at Family Health University. Why that option as a university?
So, first of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Bernard Opoko, and I'm a fifth-year medical student at the Family Health University, and I'm a graduate student as well. Being in family health has been an intentional decision. It stems from all the activities that goes on campus, because for the fact that it is a private medical school, the student to teacher ratio is quite small. Like, you have access. For example, in my GEM class, we are 17, and it means we can have access to the lecturer at any time. Not just that, and with the early clinical exposure, you know, we have a hospital on site as well, the Family Health Hospital. Every department that you think any hospital has is in there. And I saw it as an opportunity that I can have the opportunity to be in the classroom, and at the same time, after classes, I could have a clinical exposure. And we at Family Health, we don't just train people to become doctors. We train people to become compassionate, to be of good character, and to have the tenacity to be able to take care of people with wholeheartedly. And Family Health University is also a family. It is a family, as we say, because aside the school activities, we also have other extracurricular activities. For instance, we have student-led initiatives. If you could look back in the month of September, during the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, the Family Health University student had created what we call the Early Detection of Childhood Cancer Club. And this is a student-led initiative, which I am a co-founder of that club. Yes,
congratulations.
And we used that opportunity to create awareness. So we had a walk on 30th August before the month of September, when it was the Cancer Awareness Month. So we had a very nice walk, joined by even the Greater Accra Regional Hospital and all other people. And all this was supported by the Family Health University. And these student-led initiatives help us create the awareness. So with these things in mind, I saw it that no, if I'm here and I'm improving and I'm developing myself and I'm creating something for my nation, why not share the story to the people outside there so that they can also join this big family?
I was just wondering, because for medical school, it will usually be public. And so you're just quite curious if an individual chooses a private university. But you see this terminal report that you've given me, your lecturer is here. I'll go to your lecture shortly for you to confirm whether everything that you have said on your own term report is correct. I'll come to you, Nana Kosia. Just give me a minute. Let me come to you, Ayuda. Just introduce yourself again. Tell me why Ayuda even decided to be part of the NSMQ this year.
I'm Vanessa Williams, the Customer Experience Executive at Ayuda Hub Limited. So our main goal was to just create a greater awareness of our brand and then let people know who we are and then the benefits of using the Ayuda app. The National Science and Maths Quiz is one of the most popular and watched educational programs, and a lot of people would be watching. So our main aim was to reach the masses and let them know the benefits of using the Ayuda app. We want Ayuda to become a household name. We want people to know that it's a brand that is built on innovation, making sure that we are delivering quality and excellent services to our customers.
Okay. When I come back to you, my question will be that beyond the visibility, does the object of the quiz or the contest sit very much in your corporate social responsibility? But Anakosia, I'm very fascinated when women are lecturers. More importantly, they're even doctor lectures. It's very beautiful. But, I mean, tell me what you lecture at Family Health University. What has it been for you? You surely must have gone to a public university yourself. I'm just preempting. But now you lecture at a private health university. Tell me the experience as a lecturer.
Thank you, Mefa. So like you rightly said, my name is Nana Kusia, and in Family Health University, I teach human anatomy. That's teaching everything about the human body. The experience for me so far has been amazing, and I'll tell you why. Family Health University, as Bernard rightly said, is Ghana's first private medical school. There's something we always say, the patients to doctor ratio is alarmingly low. And so we agree that the public sector is overwhelmed. And that's why there's the need for private involvement. And so when we talk about Family Health University, we are talking about creating the opportunity to help stabilize this alarmingly low ratio. So in Family Health University, we create an environment where medical education provided is world-class acknowledged.
Okay.
So in Family Health University, like he mentioned, we have on the campus, the university, we have a teaching hospital, and we have a conducive learning environment for students. Our faculty, both locally and internationally seasoned, come on board at all times, like you said, 17-1. So a student has at their beck and call a lecturer helping them at any time they need.
Okay.
We can talk about safety and security. We can talk about our e-learning resources. And so we try to create that space where anybody who dreams of becoming a medical doctor, a nurse, or a midwife can easily access that. Okay. And let me be quick to add that from the year 2020 till date, we have graduated 189 medical doctors.
189?
Yes, medical doctors who are practicing all over the country and across the world. And what is equally interesting is that we have produced 5,000 plus nurses and midwives.
Wow.
And so when we talk about trying to stabilize that ratio and change the conversation of the doctor-patient ratio, Family Health really comes in strong.
You clearly are doing well. What's your business with NSMQ this year?
So, science, STEM, anything science is needed for medicine, nursing, and midwifery. And so any course that champions science and math, we rally ourselves fully behind it. And that is how come we are fully engaged with this National Math and Science Quiz, because one of the core areas of health development for any country is science and math.
Okay.
So any organization that decides to take it up as an institution, as a university,
you're all for it.
All for it.
Absolutely. Vanessa, tell me, so beyond the visibility, I definitely can shut my eyes and draw the AYUDA logo and even the writing. I remember everything about AYUDA. But beyond the visibility, which the National Science and Math Quiz will give you, what does it sit properly in your corporate social responsibility scheme, does it?
Yes, it does. So the Science and Math Quiz, it brings together young people who are brilliant. And the idea behind the AYUDA app is just one thing that marvels people, because if you can sit in the comfort of your home and then just request for services, how easy and comfortable is that? So coming on board, we just thought that as a brand, we are taking technology to the next level, and just sponsoring the Science and Math Quiz is one of our initiatives.
Okay. I'd come to you, Bernard, but Doc, tell me, the admission process, a lot of people usually think that the private schools are an escape from the public schools, and most importantly, this is a medical school. Is the admission process quite friendly?
So
what's the requirement?
So it's merit-based. And for our health to be in safe hands, you would be happy to hear that I say it's highly merit-based. So we have two main streams of admission, and I'm talking for the medical school. So we have the regular intake, and then we have the graduate entry medical program. So for the regular intake, we are looking at all secondary education with science backgrounds. So we are looking at the WASSCE, we are looking at Cambridge, we are looking at the IB, the IGCSE, who have completed all the requirements for secondary education. And for the graduate entry program, we are looking at candidates who have a first degree in any science-related background. So it said that dreams don't have deadlines. So if you have a dream of becoming a doctor, you have a good first degree in any science background, you can still roll onto the graduate entry medical program.
Okay, okay.
Admissions are actually currently ongoing.
Ongoing?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
And so you can reach us on our website, www.fhu.edu.dh or admissions.fhu.edu.dh.
Okay. Bernard, if they don't want to take it from Doug, maybe they'll take it from you. Admission is currently ongoing. How can they admit? How can they enroll? Where is the school located?
Okay, the school is located just opposite the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training School, right in the hub of Teshi.
Okay.
And our social media handles are also active.
Okay.
And then we are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and then as well.
Okay.
And these places, we interact with anybody who wants to get the admission. Because we are in a digital world, we don't want to restrain people. So you can just text us on Instagram, and then we will respond immediately and give you the direct person for you to speak with.
Okay. Yeah, sweet. I think you've made it quite easy for us. But quickly, how can we find Ayuda as well?
So you can download the app on either the Google Play Store or the App Store. And then if you want to know more about us, our website is www.ayudahub.com. And then our contact number is 0302 90 60 23.
Okay. Doc, because of my time, and I'm able to continue the conversation, but I'm quite curious about the school, so expect my visit soon. I come and see and I come and tell them, Doc. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nana Kosia Bernard. All right, and Vanessa, have a good one. You're watching the AM show. Please stay. Well, thank you for staying. And for those of you who do not like to take your health seriously, let me have your full attention. We're in November and World Diabetes Day is just around the corner. It's just some days away, 14th of November. And our friends who are doctors are coming to tell us why you should take your health quite seriously. So from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Karen Hapag Akumia Berthi, physician specialist, is joining us in studio, and also Dr. Joe Sampane, physician, also from Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Thank you, docs, for joining us in studio. I mean, you often will hear, anyway, Woody, this food you're eating, diabetes or diabetes. So let's clear the myth first of all. But Karen, please tell me exactly what diabetes is, and then let's teach some people something this morning.
Diabetes really is a group of disorders that eventually result in you having persistently high blood glucose levels. That's basically what it is. And it's as a result of a hormone called insulin, which is either inadequately produced, or even if you produce it enough, there's some resistance to the way it works where it needs to work.
Okay, and which one is bad, whether you're producing it more or low?
Well, because no matter the cause, the end result is persistently elevated glucose levels. You can't really take a pick. Both lead to these chronic complications of diabetes that are, unwarranted, that we do not want to have.
Okay. And Jeff, I've heard that there are types of it.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to tell me?
Yeah, so there are various types of diabetes. There's type 1, type 2. There's a gestational form of the diabetes, there's a secondary form of the diabetes, a cause of the diabetes. And there are other types that are not really classified exactly as like LADA, MODI. So I just want to enlighten the audience here. So the type 1, mainly what it does is that it's an autoimmune. It's like your beta cells are not, there are certain cells that produces the insulin, which we were trying to talk about. So what happens is that the beta cells are not able to produce the insulin to mop up the glucose that is in the blood. That's why you have the high blood sugars, okay? And then in the type 2, you are producing the insulin, but the sensitivity is impaired, or there's resistance to the effects of the insulin, okay? And the gestational form, in the second and third trimester, some pregnant women tend to have high blood sugars.
Okay.
And there are secondary causes of the diabetes, okay, coming from hormonal imbalances that you would have to investigate further to ascertain what exactly is causing it.
Okay.
And then the other types that I mentioned that are particularly not really classified yet, like it's difficult to put it whether type 1, type 2, the MODI, and then the LADA. Okay, MODI typically, you tend to find it in the young, usually below 25 years. LADA is typically above 30 years. So you'd be tempted to say, maybe because, I didn't say this, the type 2 usually, the age range is in the elderly, like 40 years and above.
For the type 2?
Yeah, type
Okay.
2, where you have the resistance to the insulin. Is 40 years and above. So you might be tempted to say LADA, which typically occurs after 30 years, could be grouped as type 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I want my viewers to appreciate what you're saying. You want to, perfect. I like it when you're saying like this. Okay. So all of this, Karen, tell me, all these types that Dr. Sampane has just been telling us, which one of them is very dangerous, or they're all dangerous?
They're all dangerous. You know, with the definition of diabetes, it's actually a group of disorders. So like he's broken it down. There's type 1, there's type 2, there's the autoimmune related diabetes, there's gestational diabetes, there's diabetes that you can get from hormonal imbalances, like he said. So all of them are a group of disorders. But the common theme they have is your blood glucose levels are persistently elevated, and that will give you the negative effects of diabetes.
You mentioned autoimmune. This is just that you're born with a condition, or you're predisposed?
Predisposed. There we go. You have a predisposition to get the diabetes.
And this predisposition is because what? Your parents
body
had it, or your...
Well, yes, it could be genetic, but it could also arise out of the blue.
Wow.
Yes. And then that means with autoimmune types, it means that your body cannot recognize the cells that produce insulin as self. It recognizes it as an outsider.
Okay.
So it attacks those cells, and now you're unable to produce the insulin.
Well, we're going to go to the risk factors and all of that, but just on the face of it, the food we eat, our lifestyle, does it contribute to anything at all, any of these types? Who wants to take that? Okay.
A whole lot. I mean, you are what you eat, essentially. The way you look is from what you eat. Okay, so with diabetes...
I hope I don't look like what I eat.
So you need to be mindful. You need to eat smart. Okay, you need to portion control, balanced diet. Okay, so with the diet, you want to cut down on certain fats that are really not necessary. Okay, so there are so many types of fats that you don't. So the examples of these types of fats, we have the trans saturated fats and then the saturated fats. Okay, and then these fats are usually solid at room temperature. Example of these are margarine, butter, palm oil, palm oil. So these are some types of fats that you want to stay away or reduce as much as possible.
Okay.
And the oil you like to use is usually the olive oil. Okay, usually that is required. At least it cuts down or reduces the risk of you having the diabetes. Yeah, so you want to watch that.
Karen, but for us to set up a day to want to talk about it, to create more awareness, then it makes the numbers sound not good. Let me in on the global numbers and local numbers.
Yes. So globally, in 2022, the global prevalence of diabetes is just over 600 million people. So those numbers are astronomical, and that's projected to increase by 2050 to about 850 million people living with diabetes. So again, those figures are astronomical. And locally, we have a prevalence rate about 6.4% of people living with diabetes. And just to underscore a little fact, even with a global prevalence, it's said that over 90% of people who are undiagnosed to have diabetes live in low and middle income countries, and that's us. So even with the numbers that are known, there's a potential unknown number that's as highest where we live. Okay. And so we do need to sound out that alarm that potentially it could be me, it could be you. Let's know our numbers. Let's know what our numbers of blood sugar look like so that we can prevent these complications of diabetes.
Does the gender also play, in Campton, did you discover whether women are more or men are more?
Well, no.
More? It's just cuts across?
Cuts across.
Okay.
Cuts across.
The complications and the management of it.
Yeah, well, I'll just jump the gun this time around. So what's the theme for this, the World Diabetes Day is diabetes and well-being with focus on the workplace, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so with this, you like to understand the complications, okay? It can affect your sight, it can affect your kidneys. Yes, so with your sight, I mean, we have something called retinopathy that you'd want to look out.
Hey.
Retinopathy, I mean, it's just the eye, the sight.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then the kidneys, okay? And then it can even affect your lipids, your cholesterol, and all. You want to have a look at that. It can delay wound healing, so you have some ulcers that you have a wound that never sort of heals. Yes, so you need to, these are some of the complications that could come from diabetes. The management has been streamlined. It depends on the type of the diabetes you have. So typically with type 1, you're not producing the insulin at all. So you want to give the person insulin. But type 2, we have several oral hypoglycemic agents. So these are medications that help mop up the sugar in the blood, okay? Example is one, the common one most people will know is metformin, okay? And usually that's what the medication we start with, okay? But based on the indices, the target you want to achieve, you want to look at your HbA1c, which is the amount of sugar in your blood over a 2 to 3 months period, okay? So there are targets that you need to meet. Okay, so typically, when your HbA1c is more than 6.5, you can say someone is diabetic, but there are various guidelines to even diagnose diabetes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it's quite complex to diagnose. Before we go to what the activities are for this year.
So to diagnose diabetes, you need a blood sample. Typically, we want you to use a whole venous blood sample, so you have to draw blood. There's actually finger prick.
No other way you guys can do that. There's no other way, huh?
It's the best way.
The best way,
yes.
Okay. I'll go through
finger prick tests, which help you to know what your blood glucose is at any point in time. That's good for monitoring. But to diagnose, you need a whole blood sample. And then they will look at the figures, whether you've been fasting overnight. There are figures you look at to diagnose. If you've had a glucose load, 2 hours after you've had a glucose load, we can check and also diagnose. And then if you have symptoms, and we check any time, then we have figures that we look to diagnose.
It'll be a good time to tell me about the symptoms.
Yeah. So you tend to urinate a lot. You end up drinking more water. You'll be losing more weight. You can't really explain it while you're losing the weight, but you are losing weight. Yes. Yes. Essentially, those are the things that are the pointers that you are actually. But it's a silent disease, so these things will come in only later.
By that time, you're likely to be...
Yeah, you will have the disease progression, it will have progressed.
Okay. If I may comment. So that's why it's so important to us that the awareness is created because of the silent nature of the illness. At the time where you're getting these symptoms that Dr. Sampany has mentioned, then, you know, the disease has caused some of the damage it's going to cause already, which might be hard to reverse. So we need to know our numbers when it comes to diabetes. You know, yearly, we're supposed to do a metabolic workup or a blood test workup. So we should all be aware of that.
Okay.
That actually ties in with our
activities
for diabetes and well-being, especially with a focus on the workplace. That's when little changes in the workplace can be done to help either those living with diabetes already or to fish them out, like annual general screenings that employers can put in place.
Are you doing some screening on the day?
Well, we're doing some screenings leading up to the day at selected facilities and locations in the country. Okay. Yes, we have them up on social media platforms as and when it's time to do those screenings as well. And then that's about it for the screening. But the rest of the activities for DEMSOG, which is the Diabetes and Endocrine Metabolic Society of Ghana, they have their annual general conference this Thursday and Friday, all with the focus of involving stakeholders to see how best we can continue to create awareness, support people living with diabetes, and then make sure we diagnose those that have been.
Where's DEMSOG taking their conference? Where's it happening?
Well, it's happening at Best Western Premier, but it's for DEMSOG members. There's an online option that's opening to the public as well.
Okay. I'd like to think that we've covered everything, but when that conference is done, we'll definitely bring out the fallouts to our audience here on the show. Karen and Joe, thank you so much. They're from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Karen Hapak Ekomia Berthi, physician specialist, and as well Dr. Joe Sampane, physician as well at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Thank you so much for helping us create the awareness.
Thank you for having us.
Still there's more before we wrap the show. Stay. Well, thank you for staying. Time now to talk about the Africa Youth Festival, and our friends have joined us in studio. Kofi Opon Apiakubi is a media and events coordinator for Africa Youth Festival. And of course, I've got a namesake this morning. Catherine Emefafafali Dogbeto, public relations officer as well from Africa Youth Festival. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me in studio. Tell me, what's the Africa Youth Festival all about? Let me come to you, Mr. Apia. Let me come to you.
All right. Good morning to your cherished viewers. It's beautiful to be here. So before we go into the Africa Youth Festival, I want to take us back to 10 years ago when we started IFED Global, which is the Innovation for Empowerment and Development. And we are on a mission to spark leadership, innovation, and diplomacy. So over the years, we have been organizing our flagship program, which is the International Youth Diplomacy Conference, where we have for the junior and then the senior youth. I mean, with the age brackets being from 9 to 15 for the junior, and then 15 and above for the senior level. There's diplomacy. So we have youth over the years coming from across Africa to have, an experience of the Model United Nations Conference. So the event is a simulation of the Model United Nations Conference. Okay. That's what we do here every year. We gather them here in Accra on Legon campus. So we've been doing this consistently for 10 years. And after 10 years, we see the need to celebrate, this milestone. And we've had people pass through, impacted over 5,000 lives. And we have alumni coming down here to share their story, how they have benefited from what we have been doing over the years, which is the reason why we decided to partner with the National Youth Authority to organize the African Youth Festival this year on the theme, Reflect, Review, and Reset, Igniting the Future of Africa's Youth. And we are having that from the 5th of November through to the 8th of November. Of course, our arrival is from... Yes. Of November. Yes, from tomorrow. Arrival is today. So even yesterday we had over 50 people arrive in Ghana, and they are on campus now lodging at the Liman Hostel. And of course, we're expecting hundreds of people more from today through to tomorrow. But the opening is tomorrow, and that's what is happening this week.
That you have brought the foundation to the fore, but Catherine, to the Africa Youth Festival this year. So you have decided to now focus much more on that because the IFES then gave birth to this sort of.
Exactly.
Let me in more. He's just told us about the theme this year. That's quite loaded. Break it down for us.
Okay, so the theme this year is reflect, review, and reset. And then as people, we need to always sit back and then pause at a point in time and then check whatever you are doing. It gets to a point where you need that pause to reflect on everything that you have done. So at IFED Global, we've had this for 10 years, and then it is time to, pause and then have that reflection. How have people benefited from whatever that has been done over the years? And also as African youth, what have been done for the past years for us, and what can we do going forward? And that's when the review comes in, where we check whatever we've been doing, how we've been empowering and then developing the African youth, and moving forward, what are other things that we can do better to make these developments more impactful for we, the African youth.
Okay. Kofi, if I see your lineup, it's very eventful. From 5th to the 9th of this month. It's very, very eventful. Maybe share with me some of the success stories, just one of the success stories for the impact of the IFS in itself. And then we get into the African Youth Festival, the lineup particularly, what it will look like from day one to the last day.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, for the past 10 years, we have been bringing youth down here and training them in leadership, training them in diplomacy. So we have a couple of people who have benefited from this event across Africa. I mean, even some in the diaspora now, I mean, having a beautiful life living there. So aside that, we also do outreach programs to various communities and organizations. That's what we have been doing over the past years. And all this we have a documentary we'll be bringing all to light on 5th, because that is the opening, where we will be having a host of speakers on the opening.
Okay. I see that there's a heritage tour.
Yeah, sure.
When is that happening?
On the 7th, on the 8th.
Sorry. On the 8th, okay. Are you able to just break it down on each day? You have just told us what you'll be showing tomorrow. That's the opening. Then the next day is
That's
what?
Not the only thing we're doing tomorrow. So tomorrow is the opening. And we're blessed to have the Youth and Development Minister, Honorable George Opare Ado is coming. And our own able Sports Minister, Honorable Kofi Adams, is also coming. We have the Deputy Minister of Communication. We have the Liberian Ambassador, Her Excellency Rula is coming, and we have of course, the CEO of National Youth Authority also coming. Honorable Ayariga is also coming. So all these people are going to take us through what we must do as Africans youth. That's what is going to be happening tomorrow. Now, after that, we're going to have training session. We're training people in leadership, in diplomacy, in technology, entrepreneurship, and vocation. We are going to break into that, and then we'll do the training session. And of course, we have more the following day that Catherine will take us through.
Catherine, take us through the rest of the activities.
And so on the other days, we don't want it to be just the seminars and conferences. So there's going to be a musical night where we are going to enjoy our African music and also an African culture. We are going to have the Global Village where people from various African countries will display their culture. That's their dance.
I think that's one I like. That's 1 hour 10. Okay.
Their dance, their music, and whatever that portrays who they are as African from all these African countries.
Okay. And I see Pan-African Awards as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And so there are going to be awards awarded to the delegates, those who would be outstanding in whatever they are doing, so that next time when you are coming, you are going to, engage. We don't want it to just be that you are just present because you would want to be part of the numbers.
Okay. But for people who are watching us now, I hear delegate. This means that there's some pool and scope of people that already exist. But can young people as well, this African festival, youth festival, can young people be part?
Of course. It's opened to all.
Okay.
So the delegate, these are people who have registered that they are coming. It's open to all. You log on to our website, theafricayouth.org, and then you register, and then we have your details. So we have a number of people who have registered. And this is the more reason why we want to tell Ghanaian youth, not just Ghanaian youth, but once you are an African youth and then you are in Ghana, tomorrow you have to meet us at the AVI Event Center.
Say that again, AVI.
The AVI Event Center at airport.
Okay.
That's where we are doing the opening. And afterwards, all the other events will be happening on Legon campus. So it's open to all. And employers, HRs, they should give, a day off to their workers tomorrow.
Shout.
I'm saying that employers should give a day off to their workers tomorrow.
Okay, bring it down, I'll lose my job. But anyway, thank you so much for speaking for the masses, yeah? I can hear them in my ears, thanking you on top of my head. But anyway, maybe we're unable to answer all of the questions, but if they get to come tomorrow, the opening of the event center at airport, both of you and many other of your likes, you'll be there to answer questions, inquiries, and all of that. But for now, they should visit where? You're just saying, let me find the website.
Yes, so they can visit africayouthfestival.org to get any other information, or they can also visit ifedglobal.org, and then they are going to get any information they would be needing.
Okay. Kofi, I'll let you have the final words.
Okay, so thank you very much for having us here on JoyNews AM show today. Let me just do this. We've had, as an NGO, we've had support from some organizations that we may want to acknowledge them and appreciate them for that. We've had support from Bel Aqua. We've had support from GCB. They've really supported us, and the AVI Event Center, of course, and JoyNews. As partners, we want to really appreciate you for supporting this very initiative. Tomorrow, let's all come together as African youth, and then let's celebrate. And a quick one, whatever is happening at Ahafu, Hwidiem, I just want to say this, that the youth, we must channel our energies into something more profitable, something more impactful, which is the more reason why we are asking you to join, such events so that you can learn and then at least upskill yourself and then do something better for yourself, for the country you live in, and for the continent.
Very well said. Kofi Opono-Piakubi is Media Events Coordinator, Africa Youth Festival, and Catherine Emefafafali Dogbato as well is Public Relations Officer. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you.
We're nearly wrapping the show, but I've got some juice for you. Just stay with me. I'll be right back. Thank you so much. It's nearly 10. We're almost out of here. But I cannot leave this morning without saying a big thank you to Kofi. So Kofi from Downtown Kitchen inside Asalam Down yesterday sent me some very sumptuous lunch. I had rice with goat sauce, I had tilapia, and I had grilled chicken. It was a party for me yesterday. But not just that, the food was really, really good. Considering the fact that I'm quite petty with food, that food checked. It just passed the vibe check and the taste check as well. Thank you so much. And this morning, Yavaso sent me breakfast. Oh, God. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So check them out, Downtown Kitchen at Asalam Down. And you can visit them, get breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I promise you, you will not regret the taste. It's just absolute, very good. I'd like to also wish the Gem Clothiers, the provider of all of my clothes that you see, a happy, happy birthday, Auntie Jane. I totally, totally love you. Enjoy the day. Everything is on me today. At least they brought me breakfast from Downtown Kitchen, and I'll share with you. But quickly, Ghana, are you ready? The wait is over. The Compute Ghana Cashback Sales Festival is back, and this time it's bigger, better, and way more rewarding. From October to December, shop your favorite brands, Samsung, LG, TCL, HP, Lenovo, Dell, Techno, Infinix, and more at any Compute Ghana showroom nationwide. Enjoy instant discounts, sweet cashback deals, and surprise gifts with every purchase. And that's not all, though. Your invoice automatically enters you into 3 massive raffles where you could win TVs, laptops, phones, cash prizes, and yes, the ultimate prize, a brand new SUV. And every Friday, the fun goes next level with live exhibitions, favorite gaming battles, free health checks, and loads of excitement. It's not just shopping, it's a whole festival vibe. So what are you waiting for? Bring the family, bring your friends, and let's make every Friday at Compute Ghana unforgettable. Shop, save, win big. Visit Compute Ghana or shop online at www.computeghana. You can call them 0302 752020 or WhatsApp them 0243143143 for details. Of course, this promo is in partnership with the NLA under the Caritas Lottery platform. It is joy, rewards, and pure celebration all season long, only at Compute Ghana Cashback Sales Festival. Well, I am Emefa Akosia Adeti, and I did this with the Hunter Pele. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Please stay for JoyNews Desk.